Welcome to ESPN College Football, presented by Ram Trucks. Here in beautiful Huntington, West Virginia, the Joan. Good crowd expected tonight. Hump Day action. Sunbelt, Funbelt on a hump day as the Ragin' Cajuns come to Marshall to take on the Thundering Herd. First ever Sunbelt home game for Marshall. One of the new additions to this great 14-team conference. Hello and welcome, everybody. He is the former Georgia quarterback, Aaron Murray. I am Mike Morgan. Great to be with you. And a lot of excitement in the air, really, about both these programs, Aaron. When you talk about Louisiana, of course, the defending Sun Belt champions. When you talk about Marshall, huge win against Notre Dame. Both these teams have struggled a bit of late. So what are we looking at tonight?
Well, I think you're looking at two of the best defenses in this conference, and that's what they want to lean on. Play great defense, run the football, but the offenses have to get going. It's middle of the season. This is an opportunity for them to really start to, at least in the pass game, I think, for both teams, air this thing out a little bit, test both these secondaries. So I'm hoping for a little bit more offense, but don't be surprised if you see a lot of great defense on the football field here tonight.
We've seen a lot of great performances by the Ragin' Cajuns the last 4 years. They've won their division title the last 4 seasons, but gone is Billy Napier. He's now in Gainesville. And right now for this Louisiana squad, gone is the starting quarterback and starting running back, so they've got some adversity.
Well, I think the one thing they are excited about is this has been an offensive line that has struggled with injuries, guys departing, whether it's to the transfer portal or to the NFL draft. They've been mixing guys up in camp, and now during the season, they finally feel like they have 5 guys that are communicating well. So they're going to lean on the running game, the backup running backs in this offensive line to see if they can go against, like I said, one of the best defenses in this conference in Marshall.
It's not your typical situation with a backup quarterback because Ben Wooldridge has played significant snaps, but what should we expect out of him tonight?
Well, I think a guy that's a little bit more physical, a little bit more of a runner quarterback, and you want to see some more RPOs, zone read, but he wants to get the ball out of his hands quick. That's where he excels, the rhythm passing game.
Mentioned a lot of excitement in the air for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Huge win against Notre Dame. Excited to be in the Sun Belt and excited to have some Wednesday night football here in Huntington. Thundering Herd, Thunderstruck enters them out and onto the field. Excitement in the air here in Huntington, a program that has been long in tradition dating all the way back to 1895. I mentioned the win over Notre Dame. That got a lot of people pumped up about Marshall football this year, Aaron. A little bit uneven since then. Great defense, inconsistent offense. What do you see with Marshall?
Well, it's the turnovers. You've seen pick sixes. You've seen fumbles returned for touchdowns as well. This is a team that relies on the running game, relies on their defense, but if you're going to want to win consistently, you can't be one-dimensional. And they are one of the best running teams in this conference, averaging over 200 yards per game on the field, but they want to open this thing up, and we'll see if they can do it. They got talent on the outside to be able to spread it out.
And Kalen Laburn's been one of the top rushing threats in all of college football. Opening kickoff from Huntington is coming up. Should be a lot of fun. Sunbelt, Funbelt, Wednesday night in Huntington. Mike Morgan, Aaron Murray, back with you here from the Joan on the campus of Marshall University. Thundering Herd of the Ragin' Cajuns. Sunbelt Showdown, 2 teams that could certainly use a victory. The Western Division in particular is wide open. We had some showers, little flashes of lightning earlier, but right now the weather is picture perfect. 69 degrees, slight wind, could have some rain later on in this ball game. 10 months ago, these 2 teams met in the New Orleans Bowl. It was Louisiana winning that ball game. Marshall trying to get off and pick up that first Sun Belt victory, led by Charles Huff in his second year, a Nick Saban disciple. Spent a few years in Tuscaloosa, a grinder. Guy has been at multiple spots at both the collegiate and pro ranks before he finally got that opportunity to be a head coach. And then it's the prodigal son coming home. Michael Desormeaux, the former quarterback for the Raging Cajuns. It wasn't that long ago. He was a 3-time All-Sun Belt performer, and now Coach Dez replaces Billy Napier. Big shoes to fill by Billy Napier, who, of course, set all kinds of records and won several ball games for this Louisiana Raging Cajun program. Marshall won the toss and deferred. It'll be Reese Verhoff kicking off. And this is where Louisiana has excelled. That's 17, Dante Fleming. Number 7, Eric Guerrer, one of the top return men in all of college football this season. It'll be a deep kick into the end zone, and the Raging Cajuns will take over from their own 25-yard line. It'll be our first look at Ben Woldridge. Again, no starting quarterback in Chandler Fields, and Chris Smith, their electric tailback, is out. So, Aaron, they're going to have to find offense in other spots.
Well, it's all going to be about the rhythm passing game. Nice, quick, easy reads. The problem is against this Marshall defense, they are going to challenge you on the outside. They're not just going to sit back in zone coverage and give you easy free access throws. They're going to get in your face, jam you at the line of scrimmage. They're going to force you to throw the ball vertically down the field.
Terrence Williams is the tailback in place of Chris Smith. He's a workhorse, a bigger back at 6'1", 230 pounds. He is behind Ben Woldridge. And he will get the carry on first down, probes the right side and upended. I mean, completely bottled up at the line of scrimmage. The tackle by Eli Neal, the 3-year starter from the linebacker squad, maybe squeezed out a yard.
The linebacking core for this defense, this is where the strength is, along with the cornerbacks. But Eli Neal, Abraham Beauplan, you're going to see a lot of base defense, so 4 defense linemen, 3 linebackers to slow down the running attack.
Out of the shotgun on second down. It's a Marshall defense that is extremely aggressive. They will blitz early and often. Cock and fire, deep ball down the sideline and perfectly thrown right in the basket of Michael Jefferson, their top target. A penalty flag flies from about midfield.
Well, here's who they want to go to, one-on-one on the outside. A little push off there, but you're talking about Michael Jefferson, one of the probably, even want to talk about NFL talent on the field this evening. He is that guy, 6'4", can run. And we just saw in that previous play, Marshall comes out in an 8-man front, so 8 defenders in the box, press coverage on the outside. He's got about 4 or 5 inches on the corners, and anticipate more and more of those shots throughout this game because they're going to get
interference, offense, number 8, half the distance to the goal line, repeat second down.
That is Marshall Lewis, our referee, and indeed the flag is on Jefferson. You mentioned his pro potential. They were telling us the scouts have him as a 3rd-round grade. Yep. So pretty legit talent by the 6'4" senior out of Mobile, Alabama. Aaron, as a former quarterback, did you lick your chops when you were facing a defense you knew was going to send a lot of heat because you got a lot of man-to-man coverage?
Well, especially if you have a 6'4" receiver that can move like that and can get off the line of scrimmage. That's something you got to do. You got to be able to beat press coverage, and you turn on the tape, he beats it over and over again, and you just throw it up there, and he's going to get it most of the time. Just got to be a little bit careful with his hands, creating some separation.
So it's up a second down and 22 now. Passing situation for the Raging Cajuns. 4-man front by Marshall. Woldridge out of the gun from the pocket. Missiles one complete at the 21 and wrestled down at the 24-yard line. That's the tight end, Pierce Miguel, and they've got 3 tight ends, Miguel, Johnson, and Lumpkin, that they will go to often.
And that's more the rhythm you're going to see throughout this game. It's more of a spacing concept. Nice, easy reads. You go 1, 2, 3, work from sideline back to the inside. Great job. Friendly out route there from the tight end.
Sets up a 3rd down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Trips to the left, the receiver to the right. Woldridge flushed out right side. Nothing there, going to tuck it and run, and brought down. A sack by Eli Neal. Second tackle for loss by the 3-year linebacker, number 24, out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, you've seen the 3-by-1. They try to get Jefferson singled up backside, but it's a too high coverage. No one's open. And we talk about these linebackers for Marshall. Neal making an impact early in the game, tackle in the first play, and then the sack here to get the defense off the field.
And the problem this year for Marshall has certainly not been on the defensive end. They're 17th in the country in scoring defense, and they will get after you. the punt from the Aussie, Reese Burns. And a fair catch called for at the 35 by Talib Keaton. Good field position to start for Marshall. And we'll get our first look at Henry Colombi. He's been around a bit. Passport has been stamped. Utah State, Texas Tech, and now a fifth-year senior at Marshall by way of Fort Lauderdale. What do you like about Colombi?
Well, I like a lot. I like the arm strength. I love the ability to push the ball down the field. It goes about what we talked about in the open. It's just taking care of the football. And that's QB rule number one. You protect it. It's your baby. You go to sleep with it. You don't give it up. A little bit too much of that here in the losses we've seen this year from Marshall.
You don't want to throw an errant pass against this Raging Cajun defense. They have 10 different players with an interception this year. There's a catch out on the flat by Montgomery, breaking tackles and angling all the way out of bounds at the 44-yard line, a pickup of 9.
Oh, this is what worried me about this defense when you watch them on tape. It's the missed tackles on the back end, and they're going to challenge you with a lot of these RPOs, these run-pass options, quick throws to the outside, create some one-on-one opportunities.
Montgomery was a Florida commit before deciding to go to Marshall. Second down on the yard, and plowing his way ahead for the first down is Laburn. Jordan Lawson on the stop for Louisiana. Kalen Laburn, one of the top running backs in the country this year statistically, third in FBS in rushing yards per game. He's been outstanding. From the 46, Colombi, straight ahead handoff, and he got airmailed a couple of yards. Quibido finally on the tackle, but Laburn went airborne and got carried midair for a little bit of a free ride.
So you're going to see the cat and mouse game tonight from Louisiana on defense. They want to show a too high safety. So as a quarterback, you see too high, you're going to hand the ball off, but they're going to bring some blitzes late to add an extra defender in the box.
On 2nd and 6, Colombi looks to throw, has a man, caught but immediately pummeled. Montgomery got it and then felt the heat from Eric Guerrer, a veteran corner who's having an outstanding campaign, the senior out of Mobile.
Yeah, and great on defense, but 2 special teams punt returns this season as well. They are talented on the back end. You said it, 10 interceptions, all by 10 different players on that defense. These situations right here where they thrive.
Never seen anything like that. 10 interceptions by 10 different players for Louisiana. 3rd down and 4, motion, pre-snap penalty. And a likely back him up 5. Looked like it might have been Ethan Driscoll jumping early. And a false start penalty on Ethan Driscoll, the left tackle.
A little quarterback got his own tackle, trying to get a head start there against this defensive line. You got game edge backside one-on-one if you want them.
Back him up on a 3rd down and 9. They say Colombi throws a good vertical ball. We haven't seen one yet. Do they go deep here? Here comes the blitz. Pocket collapsing, and he'll go down. A sack for Louisiana finally goes down. Andre Jones with the bear hug. That is their top pass rusher. Now 4.5 sacks on the year for number 10 in white.
Oh, they're going to bring pressure and create one-on-ones up front, and Andre Jones, number 10, gets the left tackle, but this is more of a coverage sack. You see the quarterback hitch, hitch, hitch. Nothing's there. Able to shed the left tackle to make the sack.
Jones was a hand-in-the-dirt guy last year playing on the line. They moved him back to outside linebacker, but he still is the biggest force in the pass rush. Good-looking punt. Going to try to angle it inside the 10. It'll bounce there and then roll into the end zone. A touchback, and it will be Louisiana football. When we come back from Huntington, no score, first quarter. Scoreless game. It is a blackout night here in Huntington. The Thundering Herd and the Raging Cajuns here in the first quarter. See the conference records for both of these teams. Louisiana and Marshall still have plenty to play for. I mean, it's early. There are a lot of games left. It is a very deep and competitive Sun Belt, which made a lot of headlines with upsets against Power 5 teams. what stands out there, Coastal Carolina and James Madison. JMU is undefeated, but ineligible for postseason. They were making the transition from FCS to FBS as Michael Jefferson reels another one in, 19 yards and a first down. So they can almost play the role of spoiler, but they can't win the league. Coastal Carolina certainly can, and the Raging Cajuns are the defending champs. Wooldridge, not bashful about throwing here in this first quarter. That time his main target was bracketed. Great coverage. Charlie Gray from the linebacker spot, as well as some help from the secondary. What do you like so far, though, about Ben Wooldridge? They're definitely not hiding his arm.
No, and I wouldn't either. I mean, you look at the Marshall defense, and the one thing, these corners are all conference type corners, but they are very aggressive. They're going to take chances. They're going to get in your face. And we're seeing early that Louisiana is not afraid to take some chances on the outside and kind of say, hey, man, we're not scared of you guys.
Wooldridge, a transfer from Fresno State, actually walked on, but immediately earned a scholarship with his play. From the pocket with time, delivers a perfect strike into plus territory at the 40. Guess who? Number 8, Michael Jefferson, defended by Abraham.
Well, it's a beautiful job. Protection up front. We talk about this offensive line starting to really gel. And you saw in the second half of last week's game, but to be able to go from right to left, you see him working the deep cross to the dagger route. Rarely does a quarterback get back to that dagger. Great job, offensive line, being able to allow the quarterback to essentially hitch up a few times in the pocket.
20 yards on the grab for Jefferson. He's already got 3 receptions here in this opening quarter. Louisiana on the move, rollout, toss, flat, caught at the 35, streaking down the sideline, inside the 25, and finally brought down at the 23. That is Peter LeBlanc. Peter LeBlanc, who led the team in receptions last year.
Well, they're doing a great job mixing it up right now. You anticipate this game, a lot of running the football, and they're showing us, hey, throw the football, get on the edge, easy completions for their quarterback.
On first down from a 25, another pitch and catch at the 21. It's LeBlanc again. LeBlanc from Catholic New Iberia High School in Louisiana. That is the same high school as the head coach, Michael Desormeaux.
Well, you just know on the road right now against a talented defense, you got them reeling a little bit early in the game. You got to get touchdowns, though. Like, you cannot settle for field goals early on. Got to get 7 points on the board. Find any way to get your star matched up. Taking a break right now, though.
And that has been a problem for both of these offenses. Drives stalling, settling for 3 instead of 7. On second down, Wooldridge gives it off, and nothing doing. A loss in the backfield. That is Lejean, brought down by Charlie Gray. Dropped for a 4-yard loss. Great pursuit here by Marshall.
Yeah, it's a great job by Owen Porter, number 55, splitting the double team, forcing the ball carrier to get even more width on his running, and then Charlie Gray, one of those talented linebackers we're talking about, coming in there.
That changes the outlook of this call. Now you've got 3rd and 12.
All right, they move Michael Jefferson in the slot. You see him in motion right now. See if they can get him matched up one-on-one with a linebacker or safety.
Split twins, Wooldridge, collapsing pocket and just throws it away. Great pressure on the interior of that Marshall defensive line, and that just broke the play down. And now Louisiana will try and settle for a field goal attempt. That's been dicey this year. They have not been very good in the kicking game.
Good job by Cumberlander coming inside, putting pressure on the quarterback. They wanted to work. Michael Jefferson one-on-one with the safety. That's going to be the play throughout this game. They feel like there's an advantage with their receivers going against the safeties and linebackers, even nickel for Marshall. Just not enough time for the quarterback.
42-yard attempt for Almendarez, who's 1 for 3. He is the second kicker they've used this year. Snap and hold are clean. Kick is on the way. Has the leg, and it's good. 42-yard field goal by Almendarez. Caps off the drive for the Raging Cajuns as Louisiana strikes first. 3-0 our score. 7:03 to play in quarter number 1.
ESPN College Football is presented by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
I talked about the history of this fine program. Chad Pennington, part of that 1999 undefeated Marshall squad. That was when they were in the MAC. Randy Moss, part of one of the 2 national championships that they won at the FCS level. Randy Moss, Eric Kresser, the Florida transfer who was a quarterback on that team. Doug Chapman, who's now involved with the university. He was the fine running back on the 1999 squad. And there is Cole Pennington, could be the future. Cole Pennington, the son of Chad Pennington, the legendary quarterback here at Marshall, likely going to redshirt this year from Versailles, Kentucky, where they know bourbon and horses and football. Not necessarily in that order. And Cole Pennington with some big shoes to fill. Chad had a heck of a career here in Huntington. Mike Morgan, Aaron Murray, great to be with you this Wednesday night, the only game in town. Little Sun Belt action coming at you with Marshall and Louisiana. Impressive drive for the Ragin' Cajuns. We'll see what Marshall can respond with. There's a look at Chad Pennington, 95 to 99, undefeated season of 99, wound up being a first-round draft pick, over 14,000 yards, and got drafted by the Jets. Had a nice NFL career. Now enjoying life outside of football. One day there's going to be a young Aaron Murray with the pressure of living up to the SEC's all-time leading passer.
Hopefully not. Hopefully just a golfer. Stay away from football, Maddox.
First down and 10. Little jet sweep action. It's going to be Keaton trying to get to the edge. Tripped up at the 30. Positive gain of 5 yards for Talik Keaton.
I tell you what, you know what must be encouraging or somewhat exciting, I guess, is this defense has had to feel like they have the load of the football team from Louisiana.
Right.
To see your offense drive down the field, I know they only got 3 points, but to see them move the ball in the air too, I would think gives this defense some juice going out there saying, hey man, we may have a shot tonight.
Back to the ground game. Not that time. In fact, that's going to be a 1-yard loss. First tackle by Pedesclo, Cam Pedesclo, from his safety spot.
Well, I think both teams, we wanted to see who was willing to throw the football. That was the narrative we were going to watch tonight. And Louisiana has shown the first 2 possessions, hey, we are not afraid to take some shots. Now we'll start to see Marshall. Are they going to respond? They want to run the football. This is their MO, but right now it's not working. Let's see if they push the ball vertical.
It's going to be interesting to see where the first turnover comes. These are 2 of the top turnover margin teams in all of college football. Don't know if that was deflected at the line, but that was a knuckleball. No chance for Corey Gamage, closest man to the football, and it'll be 4th down. Marshall will have to punt it away.
No, not deflected. I think he just saw a defensive end jumping in the air, changed his arm angle up a little bit. With those quick throws, you would have loved to see the tackle almost knock the guy down. If the ball's coming out of the quarterback's hands, immediately you want to cut those edge defenders. That way you have no one interfering the quarterback in his view. But he's a big quarterback. Great size. Should be able to make a throw like that.
Watch out for the return man, Eric Guerra. Number 1 in the nation in punt returns. He's already taken 2 to the house. He'll call for the fair catch here, however, at the 37-yard line. 3rd series upcoming for the Louisiana offense. The Ragin' Cajuns 3. And the Thundering Herd, nothing. Here's our next UFC Fight Night Saturday from the Apex in Las Vegas. Women's flyweight main event. The prelims starting at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Followed by the main card at 7 Eastern on ESPN Plus. To get, go to ESPNplus.com or download the ESPN app. He is Aaron Murray. I am Mike Morgan. We welcome you to ESPN College Football on a Wednesday night, Sun Belt style, 3-0 Louisiana. 2 teams in need of a conference victory. It'll be 1st and 10 for this Ragin' Cajun offense.
We'll see if we get a corner blitz here, where that safety's pretty much right over the corner.
Wooldridge.
Yep.
Play action. Plenty of time from a clean pocket, and delivers another fine strike to the 44. It's Rogers on the reception. Aaron, how about the protection and the offensive line play?
Well, how about the offensive line? How about the running back, too? Seeing the corner blitz, the cat blitz, being able to pick it up to give his quarterback enough time to work through his reads to get the completion.
And it was Washington with a great block from the backfield. Pass caught here, but Minimal gain on the play by LeBlanc. He's already got 3 receptions. When we talked to the coaching staff, they were incredibly concerned about the offensive line. They lost 4 starters. They lost a transfer to Florida, followed Billy Napier and Osiris Torrance, who's going to be a high draft pick. They have struggled with the O-line this year, but not so far tonight. A little razzle-dazzle setup, and they get it on 3rd down with a bunch of receivers stacked up on the boundary. A 4-yard run tackled by Gilmore after a first.
Yeah, it's Wooldridge doing a great job. Zone read. This is the athleticism we talk about. The defensive end crashes and athletic enough to be able to get north and south, get the first down. Great blocking on the outside from the receivers as well. We're working an RPO concept.
Coach Desermer told us, for us to win tonight, Ben Wooldridge has to run the football well. He can't just be a passer. Ran it well that time. Not a good run this time. Great pursuit instead for Marshall. Abraham Beauplan. Abraham Beauplan was first team All-Conference USA a year ago. He led the team with 110 tackles, and he's got 35 this year.
That's a great job weaving around the left guard. Right now, this is not what we were expecting. We were expecting a team that wants to rely on the run, get their quarterback, like you allude to, Mike, get the quarterback run going as well. But the way this offensive line's protected, you're allowing some of these talented receivers to get some one-on-one matchups.
They'll go 3 wide on 2nd and 11. Marshall rushing 4. Wooldridge on the keeper, weaving his way down to the 45-yard line. Nifty run before Eli Neal racks up a tackle. But Ben Wooldridge showing you something on the ground.
Well, right now, what are we seeing from this offense? We're seeing the want to throw the ball down the field, to get the receivers involved. We're seeing the running game going with the running backs, and now we're seeing a couple plays now where the quarterback is a threat to run the football. So defensively, you're kind of on your heels. You don't know where the ball's going to go at the moment. This is a great job, great game plan early from the offense.
Louisiana 1 of 3 on 3rd down, and it's 3rd and 4.
It's man-to-man coverage. You get the indicator from the motion.
Split twin formation. Wooldridge looks right. Now bounces outside, looking downfield. Nobody open, or is there? On a comeback and a scooping grab. What a play. That'll be a first down. Well, it looked like nothing was there, and then Terrence Williams all of a sudden flashed open, the running back.
It's great job extending the play. Man-to-man coverage. You're going to get a linebacker, or a defensive end, excuse me, on a running back, and I think he trapped. I don't think he caught it. Unfortunately, they're going to take a look at it.
Well, you and I had a nice conversation pregame with our replay official, Chris Rape, today, and he's going to get his first action of the night.
Yeah, we'll get a couple more views, but that first view right there, yeah, definitely bounced up. Unfortunate. And I said, this has been really impressive to see these guys not afraid, going on the road against Marshall. They got the black uniforms on, which are, I would say, pretty intimidating.
Styling.
They look good.
Yeah,
I like the black helmets. I like the all black going on. It's a little scary. For the best defenses out there, but they're coming out swinging, Louisiana. They ain't afraid right now.
First time that Marshall has broken out the black helmets ever. Marshall football dates back to 1895. They rarely go all black unis. Tonight they go all black helmets.
Hey, they better start playing better. There are going to be some fans saying, never bring those back out.
They'll go back on the shelf.
We brought an alternate uniform out one game, and we lost back at Georgia, and the hate mail we got, like it was the uniform's fault that we lost. Like it wasn't the fact that we just stunk it up.
Right.
No. It was the uniform's fault why we lost.
Always blame the clothing.
Yeah.
Always.
Which is fine. Like I was like, yeah, it wasn't my fault I threw the pick. It was the uniform I was wearing, so I threw the pick.
Hey, any mistake I make tonight, I'm blaming the tie. I mean, it's just, it comes with the territory, for sure.
It's funny, though. Like, I always wanted to wear black. I wanted to wear black jerseys in college, but they lost the year before I got there in black uniforms and black jerseys, so they never wore it again for like 10 years.
Yeah.
It's just, it's hilarious.
You gotta go with what's working for you.
So if these Marshall kids want to wear this again, they got to step it up.
They better step it up. I'm waiting for the verdict here to be stepped up. From the replays that we saw, it certainly looked like the ball hit the ground.
After review, it is an incomplete pass. The ball hit the ground. It'll be 4th down at the previous spot.
Okay, there you have it. And that obviously changes everything. You go from a 1st down and plus territory, and now a likely punting situation for Louisiana. We knew points were going to be hard to come by tonight, Aaron. I mean, you got 2 offenses that have struggled at times. You've got Louisiana playing shorthanded. You've just had a situation where neither offense has been able to get into a flow this year. So this could be one of those first team that gets to 20 winds up winning it.
Yeah, it really may be. And right now, I don't know if I love this decision. You know, your defense is playing well. I would stick to the field goal, or the field position game.
Yeah.
But maybe you can do a little bit of a hard count here. But you know, all eyes are going to be bottom of your screen. Number 8, Michael Jefferson.
And Marshall says, "Wait a minute now. We're going to go ahead and call a timeout, make sure we're aligned properly." It's a critical 4th and 4. I say critical. I know it's only the first quarter, but
this will be a 30-second timeout.
If you're Marshall, the way you've struggled on offense, to go down 2 scores to anybody is a daunting task right now.
No, but I'm gonna flip it over and talk about Louisiana right now. Like, your defense is performing. They're doing great, and your offense is moving the ball. I mean, my mindset early in the game right now is let's play the field position game. Let's punt them and see if we can pin him inside the 10-yard line. Let our defense continue to excel, and then get the ball back around the 40, 50-yard line. So we'll see, man. You're on the road. You're struggling offensively this season. You got some juice going early on in the first quarter. I guess, you know, when you get the hot hand, keep it going.
Here you look at 37-year-old Michael Desormeaux. I mean, he is Raging Cajun football. He grew up in New Iberia, Louisiana. That's 15 miles south of Lafayette. I mentioned he was a 3-time All-Sun Belt performer at quarterback. I actually called one of his games when he was a player. It feels like yesterday. And then he wound up coaching in high school. Again, paying your dues. Assistant in high school. Head coach in high school. Gets to work under Billy Napier. He said he learned so much from Billy Napier. The same things that Billy Napier did, he wants to instill. Organization, structure, discipline. It obviously worked. So if it ain't broken, don't fix it. And I think that was part of the reason why they thought this was the hire to make.
All right, we got man-to-man coverage, possible all-out blitz.
On 4th down, empty backfield.
I think they're going to drop out.
Wooldridge hit as he throws, and incomplete. Boy, that could have been much, much worse. That had pick 6 potentially written all over it. Eli Neal was right in the face of Wooldridge the moment he got the football.
And Healy needs to step down. You have to protect from the inside out. And it's a great job by Marshall. Those defensive ends end up dropping out. You bring an inside blitz, but the left guard needs to come down. He comes down, you take most dangerous. You let the free rusher be the outside guy. We talk about this offensive line doing a great job protecting early on in this game. Not so good there. Got to protect once again inside out. Free rusher coming from the outside may have given your quarterback an opportunity.
Neal came in like a heat-seeking missile, and that will get Marshall its best field position of the night. Thundering Herd from their own 46-yard line. Columbi. Handoff, straight ahead, banging ahead, out to the 49-yard line. That's Laburn, who's been quiet. He picks up 3 there. So 4 carries, 8 yards for one of the top rushers this year at the FBS level, Kalen Laburn, the former Florida State Seminole. It's been a long road for Kalen Laburn to get to Marshall. A lot of adversity for that young man before winding up here with the Thundering Herd. On 2nd and 7, handoff. They'll probe the left side. Nothing doing. Brought down for a loss of a yard. Just no daylight for Laburn. Quibido and Osai. Casey Osai, number 29, whose brother plays for the Cincinnati Bengals. They love what they've gotten from him from the inside linebacking spot.
Well, that's a great job defensive line. You see the late shift, and that's preparation from the defensive coordinator. Understand the formation. Let's shift the defensive line to our right, knowing that an outside, essentially zone read's going to be going that way.
Now a 3rd down and 6 for Marshall. Columbi going to tuck it and run. Gets pummeled at the 45. Took a shot, did not slide. And it's going to be a yard shy of a 1st down.
You're talking about a rushing offense that's averaging 224 yards per game. Get to line of scrimmage, snap this ball, get downhill.
And Marshall converts. Leyburn. Boy, you almost feel like you needed some type of game-changing play, and Marshall got it right there.
And you go back to the fourth down decision by Louisiana. That's what the risk reward right now. 4th and 6, you go for it, you don't get it. You get Marshall an opportunity with the football. All of a sudden they get a first down. They're in now plus territory.
Leyburn gets a breather. Payne now in a tailback and a pre-snap that'll back him up 5.
Full start. Offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And that goes against Charles Montgomery, the wide receiver out of the state of Florida. Coach Charles Huff says, I recruited him when I was an assistant at Alabama, wanted Charles Montgomery in Tuscaloosa. Then he committed to Florida. And Charles Huff just stayed on him. A relentless recruiter got him to come to Marshall. Now first down and 15. Under a minute to go in the opening quarter. Columbi misses one in the flat, but immediately wrapped up. Ball is loose. Ball is loose and pounced on by Marshall. We talked about the penchant for both of these teams with takeaways. 2 of the best in all of college football.
No, and that's just that's poor ball security. You know, trying to do too much. You got to wrap it up when contact's imminent. But great job defensively, getting in there, punching at it.
That is Podesclo who poked it loose. You see that right arm right there come through and knock it away. 10 interceptions, 4 forced fumble recoveries for Louisiana. So 14 takeaways for the Ragin' Cajuns. No turnovers as of yet. Defense the story in quarter number 1 as the final seconds tick away. Ragin' Cajuns 3, Thundering Herd nothing. First ever Sun Belt home game for the Thundering Herd. Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Ram Trucks. Mike Morgan, Aaron Murray from the Joan. Good crowd on hand. It's a blackout. It's the first Sun Belt home game for Marshall. Marshall, one of the newest additions of the Sun Belt Conference. 14 teams strong now. Thundering Herd. Not much offense so far in this ball game. Just 32 total yards. On second down, that's a big hole up the middle. One of the best so far of this game. Ethan Payne trucks it for 7 yards.
Well, they better take advantage of it because of the 5-man box. Only had 5 defenders in there for 6 blockers.
That is Leyburn on the carry, and that's the biggest run of the night for Kalen Leyburn. 7th play of the drive now on 3rd and 13. What do you like here? How about a blitz from Louisiana? And a perfect strike, caught at the 29. That's going to be just shy. Second effort by Corey Gamage will make it close. A pickup of 12.
That's a great protection and just great timing throw there. Beautiful job. Just a subtle slide. You love the subtle slides from a quarterback. Very patient and calm with his feet. And then throwing with some tremendous anticipation. And Marshall wants to make sure they get this 4th down correct. Going to take another timeout.
Well, unlike the 4th down and about 4.5 for Louisiana, this one just 4th down and 1. And Marshall will go for it when we come back. 3-0 ball game. It's a night of top-ranked boxing Saturday, October the 15th in Melbourne, Australia. American Devin Haney is the undisputed lightweight champ, squaring off against Aussie George Kambosos Jr. in the main event. Coverage of the main card begins at 10:30 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. Mike Morgan, Aaron Murray, pleased to be joined by you here on a Wednesday night. Little hump day installment of Sun Belt football. Marshall facing a 4th and 1 inside Louisiana territory. Leyburn in the backfield, number 8. Gets it straight ahead. Now weaving to the left, and he should have it. Out to the 26-yard line. Kalen Leyburn, what a game he had in that victory against Notre Dame. They just kept giving it to him time and time again. 31 carries, $161. They kept running that inside zone over and over, and basically they said, we know that you know it's coming, but can you stop it? And Notre Dame did not. Top 5 in rushing so far at the FBS level. And again, Rasheen Ali led the nation in rushing touchdowns last year. He is scheduled to come back at some point this year. The coaches are pretty tight-lipped about when. Little razzle-dazzle on the reverse. And a nice open field tackle that time. Talik Keaton had it. And Pedescalo tripped him up. Gain of 2.
That's a great job by Pedescalo staying home, and it's easy to follow. You hit all the accolades of this running back in this running game, and you anticipate the defense to kind of flow a little bit more than that, but great job by the safety staying home, playing his responsibility. It's all about the eye discipline, facing an RPO run-pass option offense.
This is the 10th play of the drive for Marshall. Easily their best drive so far. Dancing and finally going down Columbia. Just could not find anybody open. Zion Hill-Green, 223 career tackles, all Sun Belt performer, and the leader of that defensive line.
And I'm just a little bit confused on the outside. The play took forever to develop. You're trying to pump and then work a guy up the seam and then down the middle of the field, and didn't really feel any urgency from the receivers on the outside, and the quarterback's just kind of sitting there like, all right, thanks, guys. I guess I'm going to get sacked. So come on, receivers, get it up a little bit. 5
tackles for loss already for the Raging Cajuns. 3rd and long. Columbia trying to buy time. Throws a deep shot down the near sideline, but incomplete. Really no chance there. Throw was off the mark. Trey Amos was right there, step for step. And Marshall will likely send out the field goal unit here.
The 3rd down, they everybody get to the 4th and 1. They did a comeback route to the outside. Right there, they tried a little bit of a comeback and go, a stutter step and go, and great job by Amos staying on top of the receiver, not letting him get beat over the top.
Veerhoff is a freshman out of Columbus Grove, Ohio, 5 for 7 on the year. This is from 45. It'll be a career long. Kick is on the way. No good. Wide left. Now Marshall's best drive ends in a missed field goal, and credit Louisiana. They stiffened up when they needed to, and the drive turns out to be 0 points for Marshall.
I think the big thing right now is you almost got a block here. Ball just immediately goes to the left. Is the understanding of what's the bread and butter of Marshall. It's running the football, and then it's not, you're not seeing them load the box for Louisiana. It's disguising coverage, showing too high, rolling a safety in late, blitzing a nickel corner off the edge, adding that late defender in the box is really causing some struggles here for this offense to get the run game going.
Now, defense has dominated kind of like we expected. A low-scoring game here in the first half. Louisiana back on offense to the ground game. And stuffed after a gain of about 3. That is Cabote, Jacob Cabote, the redshirt junior out of Baton Rouge, former Texas A&M Aggie. Chris Smith has a hamstring injury. They hope to have him back soon. I mean, he's a difference maker in the backfield when they have him.
Oh, he's electric. I mean, you watch him all season long, and it's not only just running the football, but catching out the backfield. Extremely elusive, and just, you know, he's going to make someone miss in the open field. And Williams is great, and he's physical, and he's just it's a different running style, and it's more of that ground and pound.
Little orbit motion on 2nd down and 7. Plowing ahead for a couple more hard yards. That's Cabote again. Carpenter on the stop. Aaron, you're a former quarterback. You threw for a lot of yards. This is a game where neither quarterback figures to throw for a lot of yards. Does frustration set in? I mean, both these offenses have been stymied a bit.
Yeah, but you look at Louisiana. Wooldridge has looked, I think, pretty darn good to start this game. He's been, to me, really impressive and commanded the football, finding the one-on-one receivers, moving around the pocket well, running the game. It's not converting into points right now, but you just got the feeling this offense is feeling himself right now.
We've got a passing situation here on 3rd and 5. Wooldridge rolls out right and delivers that one right on target. And to your point, Aaron, Wooldridge 9 of 13 now. Yep. He has been incredibly accurate.
No, and it's a good mix. It's straight draw pack. Now we've seen a couple times him moving outside the pocket on design bootlegs. It's him running the football. It's just showing every little piece of the playbook to this defense.
19-yard grab for Rogers. Quick snap. from the pocket, and that one was low. Looked like Woldridge wanted something deep and then took the safety valve.
Well, I wanted him to throw it deep too, because it was a beautiful route. But Michael Jefferson had a post. He had a deep cross coming from right to left, a post coming from left to right, and he did a great job selling the go route, giving a little step in the ground, hit it high towards the pylons, and quarterback didn't feel comfortable letting it go. Yeah, quarters coverage. That post route, you just throw that thing in the end zone.
Yeah.
Just let it go, baby.
Put some air under it. Second down. Back to the ground game. And plowing ahead. Terrence Williams, he's a downhill guy. They like what he brings to the table. He's 230 pounds. Coaches describe him as twitchy. Not quite the electricity that you have with Chris Smith, but a good hard-nosed runner.
Yep. Always going to fall forward. But going back to that previous play, that's when you go to the sideline. I'm sure Michael Jefferson's going to say, hey, next time you see quarters coverage and I got a post, you throw it up, I'm going to go make a play for you.
Yeah, all 6'4" of them.
Yep.
All third down and 8 now out of the shotgun.
You're going to get a safety blitz right up the middle.
Marshall will rush 4. Woldridge has time and missiles one, bobbled, then reeled in, but incomplete. Incomplete, intended for John Stevens.
You saw the cat and mouse game right there. The checks going back and forth. Marshall showing blitz. Louisiana checks out of it, and then Marshall checks out of it themselves, going back into more of a zone 2 high coverage, and just out of the receiver's reach to make a play. Great effort.
There. Now on 4th down and 8, they will punt it. Preston Reese Burns rather the punter. Burns trying to angle it inside the 20 far side, and a beautiful job by the field team inside the 15-yard line. Perfectly executed. Marshall has its work cut out for him. They trail at 3-0. Now, these teams have only met once before, and that was 10 months ago. In New Orleans, the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl in the Superdome. Louisiana's Kyron Lacey would get the party started with a 9-yard touchdown pass from one Levi Lewis. Levi Lewis, a 3-year starter, now playing in Canada. The lefty was on target all game long. Marshall would make a run of it, though. Rasheen Ali, 63-yard touchdown run. Remember, he led the country in rushing touchdowns last year, but 20 points in the 4th quarter. Montrell Johnson, now a Florida Gator, with a rushing touchdown. Amani Bailey with a touchdown run. And Louisiana would win it by a final of 36-21. So here is the second meeting, and they will meet quite a bit now, both in the Sun Belt. Marshall's first year in the Sun Belt Conference, now 14 teams. It's been a banner year for the Sun Belt Conference so far, and I would say top to bottom, one of the most competitive teams. You know what I loved about what both these coaches said when describing the Sun Belt, talking about how they expanded? They said they didn't go for market sizes.
Nope.
They went for tradition. They went for football programs that love the game of football and support the game of football. And I think that, combined with the geography, has made this one of, if not the best, Group 5 league going right now.
Oh, 100%. I've had opportunity to cover Marshall a few times over the past few years, and the energy and the love in this town for this football team, and you're 100% correct of why they chose these two football teams and everyone else in that conference. It's, hey, good football will bring viewers, will bring excitement, and that's what we're going to focus on, the great tradition of some of these schools.
I mean, those additions, we talked about JMU earlier, the Fighting Lee Fittings, the two-time national champs at the FCS level, already undefeated, nationally ranked right now. Old Dominion in the last couple of years has defeated Virginia and Virginia Tech. Southern Miss has had a long-time successful tradition. So they have been very calculated on who they have added, not just adding for the sake of numbers, but quality as well. All right, Aaron, we got to see some offense here from Marshall. But how do you get that goose egg off the board?
Well, listen, they got the ball running and was able to get the first down, and that's what this offense wants to do. But right now, Louisiana, they are just tempting. They are asking you to take some more shots down the field with all this inserting of safeties and nickels.
Columbia on 2nd and 8. From the pocket, Coxon fires over the middle, caught at the 45. line. Into plus territory, it's Gamage. Streaking down the sideline and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Best pass play of the night for the Thundering Herd. It goes for 42.
There's the play action shot we've been wanting them to go with. And you get a post by number 2 and then a deep dagger route right behind him. You see the post route take the safety out of the way and then confident throw there from Colombi. That's the explosive play that you asked.
I asked for it.
Put it out there, you shall receive.
Glad they're playing ball with me. All right, Leyburn pushing the pile behind the right side of that offensive line inside the 20. Positive pickup. Give him 9 yards. Kalen Leyburn, the former Florida State Seminole. Now, he was a guy that was highly touted. Number 2 running back in the country. Goes to the Seminoles. Does not work out there. Dismissed there. Drives all the way to Kansas. He thought he was going to go to JUCO. Says, no, I need to go get my diploma. Drives back to Tallahassee. Gets it. Goes back to JUCO. Then winds up at Marshall. What a path. He'll get the feed here. He is a workhorse and he is a load. At 5'11", 215 pounds, Kalen Leyburn.
I'll tell you what, though. His story is not going to be unique going forward, just with what we're seeing in transfer portals and guys going here and committing here and transferring there, then leaving. It's just the era of free agency. I'm still getting used to it. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
I don't know if I like it just yet, but good for him. He found a home, one last opportunity to play football at this level, and he's taking advantage of it right now. It has been a heck of a season.
7th play of the drive from the 16-yard line. Colombi gets it, feeds. And bulldozing ahead for some tough yards is Ethan Payne. He's more of a fullback type. Payne gobbles up about 5.
We've seen both teams drive in the plus territory. Now we get an offense that's actually inside the red zone for the first time tonight. Can you take advantage? Can you put it in? And our last possession, missed field goal, a little bit farther out, obviously. But if you can keep that kicker on the sideline, find a way to put 7 points on the board with how bad you've played to take the lead, you got to feel pretty good if you're Marshall.
Payne in the backfield on 2nd down. Payne gets it, keeps the legs churning, and takes it to the 9-yard line. One guy we have not called tonight for Marshall's offense is the tight end Devin Miller, number 83. He's been a good red zone target for them this year, but he's not been targeted so far tonight.
Well, they're coming on 12 personnel right now, so 1 back, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. You got Miller, you got Marshall. You said it, when you're in the red zone, big bodies are what you want to go for. Tight ends, Gamage number 7. Well, this is going to be an interesting call, too. You're running the ball well, you're being physical. Is this 4-down territory once again?
Well, they're 0 for 5 on 3rd down. Colombi. Quick pass. I don't even know if Leyburn was ready for it, and now a late penalty flag at about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, silly penalty by Sonny Hazard, number 91. Decides to hit Colombi well after the play.
That is a huge break for Marshall. That's
personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 91. Half the distance to the goal line. Automatic first down.
That's Sonny Hazard, the defensive tackle, and that gives Marshall's offense a new lease on life.
Yeah, last thing you want to do when you're on the road, your dog's in this game, you're playing well on defense, and he's trying to be sneaky, like he gave a little shoulder. Like, you ain't going to be sneaky when you're 300 pounds throwing a shoulder on a quarterback.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're 310, nothing goes unnoticed.
Now, especially, college is not as bad as the NFL with protecting the quarterback, but.
Full backfield on 1st down. Plowing ahead behind the left side, and just short is Leyburn. They marked him, I believe, inside the 1.
It's a great job powering forward. Hey, listen, you get new life, you get a penalty, take advantage inside the 5-yard line, and I might take another look at that if I'm the replay officials. See if he was in the end zone. Offensive line saying, my man was in, give him the touchdown.
Leyburn is saying the same thing. He's saying, I'm there. He's got 8 rushing touchdowns on the year. This is the 10th play of the drive. 2nd down and goal. It's Leyburn again, penalty flag. Penalty flag. Leyburn is in, but flag at the 4-yard line. And Marshall thinks it's against the Ragin' Cajuns.
Offside. Defense. Number 93 lined up in the neutral zone. Headers decline. Delta plays the touchdown.
We've got a touchdown, the 9th rushing score of the year for Kalen Leyburn. What did the coaching staff tell us, Aaron? He gets stronger as the game goes along.
That's a great job. I just love the offensive play call on that series. Utilizing the play action pass, getting that big dig route to your star receiver coming across the field, get inside the red zone. You benefit from a penalty? Who cares? Take advantage, get in the end zone. Huge touchdown for Marshall.
Extra point is good. Easily the best drive of the game for the Thundering Herd. A 10-play, 87-yard drive, 5:26 off the clock. It's a 7-3 game with 4:09 to go in half number 1.
That's a great job, Marshall, taking advantage of the one-on-ones. Then you get inside the 5-yard line, you know they're going to run it down your throat. 7-3 Marshall.
First touchdown of the game scored by Marshall on a 10-play, 87-yard drive, capped off by a touchdown for that man, Kalen Leyburn, the former Florida State Seminole. I talked about his long road to Marshall. There was a point where he had to pay his own way. He was paying his tuition by working as a driver for Uber, Instacart, and then he worked at a lumber yard. He said it was not all sunshine and rainbows. I had to do whatever I could to get by, like so many college students out there. And obviously it has paid off. And we're going to pay things off with an update from Zubin Mohanty. Zubin.
Mike, Aaron, coming up on the Sling halftime report. We'll get you ready for the big top 10 showdown between Alabama and Tennessee. That's not the only top 10 showdown of the week. The big one in the Big Ten's on the docket as well. And the definitive Jalen Daniels injury update from Jalen Daniels himself. That's coming up on the Sling halftime.
Yeah, we've been getting conflicting reports on that, Aaron. I don't know who to believe anymore.
You know, it's crazy. You know, you got to go right to the source. There's also some pictures of him in the coach's office lifting his arms up. So I feel like that's a good sign, but hopefully we'll find out at halftime.
Of course,
make sure you tune in.
Huge game, of course, upcoming in the SEC, a conference you and I know oh too well. The Crimson Tide and Tennessee, they play every year.
Yep.
But that game hasn't been this highly anticipated in a long time.
Well, it is the, I would say, the biggest game in Knoxville in probably 20 years. I had them a few weeks ago, and watching that offense, my goodness, are they good? But it is a great slate of games on ESPN all day Saturday as well.
Hendon Hooker throws a pretty deep ball, doesn't he?
And can run it too.
Second down, 9 yards to go, Wooldridge. That time not on the same page with his intended target, the tight end, Pierce Meagle. Now, Hendon Hooker did not win the job at Virginia Tech. Then he goes to Tennessee. They didn't think he'd win the job in Knoxville either.
Well, he didn't.
Yeah, and then finally they give him the opportunity, and he's putting together. I'm telling you what, Heisman Trophy seasons are put together by Heisman moments. If you go and beat Alabama, that is a Heisman moment for that young man. Let's see if there's a big moment here for this Louisiana offense with a 3rd and 9. Ragin' Cajuns just 2 for 6 on 3rd down. Wooldridge, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, gets the snap. Stunt by Marshall. Pocket collapsing. Wooldridge goes down. Heavy pressure up the gut by that Marshall defensive line. And might have brought a linebacker as well.
That's a great job, just coverage on the back end. They're just going to go 4 rushing, 7 drop the green dog, 1 of the linebackers. But you know, interesting enough, zone coverage, but they move Stephen Gilmore, their starting cornerback, into the slot to cover Michael Jefferson. They're like, enough's enough of getting Michael Jefferson one-on-one with our linebackers and safeties. We're going to move a corner inside. Great adjustment from the Marshall defense.
14.5 career sacks now for Cumberlander, who's the nephew of former NBA star Kevin Willis. Kevin will be happy to see Kobe Cumberlander coming up with a big play defensively, as momentum now clearly on the side of Marshall.
Yep.
A great offensive drive, a great stop defensively. They get the football back. 2:51 to go, first half.
Yeah, momentum. This is football, man. Momentum at its finest.
We've got two ABC college football games we're featuring on Saturday. Number 8, Oklahoma State takes on number 13, TCU at 3:30 Eastern Time. And in our Saturday night football game presented by Capital One, it's number 4, Clemson 6-0. They'll be in Tallahassee taking on 4-2 FSU at Doak Campbell Stadium. That's 7:30 Eastern Time. While the colorful Pat McAfee and his crew highlight our ESPN2 telecast. Mike Morgan with the colorful Aaron Murray here in West Virginia. Marshall leading it 7-3 and looking for more. By the way, that Oklahoma State TCU game, you got two quarterbacks that are just flat out balling right now.
Max Duggins, the quarterback for TCU, has been absolutely electric. Huge win last week versus Kansas, and he has been doing a little bit of everything. Throwing the ball, running the football. I like Oklahoma State, but I don't know, their defense get a little bit suspect at times, especially in the secondary.
These guys has been around for a while, and it's gone back and forth in that rivalry.
Yep.
There are not two quarterbacks playing better in that conference, and there are not two teams playing better in the Big 12, which has been highly competitive top to bottom this year. Nice run that time by Columbi. Best run of the game for him. Look what I found, 6 yards and a first down.
Well, Columbi looked like he was just ready to get blasted. I mean, he threw the ball. I swear my man probably covered his eyes running it right there. Look at him. He's like, all right, broken play. I don't know what to do. Just hold on to it, put my head down, and please don't fumble.
It's like a standing fetal position multiple times throughout that gallop. On first down, flare pass, near side, and blasted at the 49 is A.J. Turner. Boy, did he take a shot by number 24. That is Braylon Trahan, the all-Sun Belt safety.
And lifted him. I mean, that's a clean hit right there, baby. That's how you get on. You got jacked up without you using your helmet the old school way. Great tackle in the open field.
That's how you get all Sun Belt honors as well, which is what he got last season. Second down and 5 plus territory for the Thundering Herd. Quick pass, knocked that down. There is Devin Miller, but he is surrounded by Ragin' Cajuns. No gain on the play.
Yeah, pass a little bit high. He has to jump up there. Allows the defense to get on top of him. And you got a light box once again. I mean, you may have an opportunity to run this.
Third down, Columbi, fleshed out, tucks it and runs, and is double stuffed at the 46, well shy of the marker. He took on Jordan Quibido, and Quibido got the better end of that one, and Columbi is down.
My goodness, this Louisiana defense is coming to hit tonight.
Moncrief, the other one. You had Quibido and Moncrief both colliding, and Columbi is still down face first after that shot.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people are saying, man, why doesn't the quarterback get down? Why doesn't he get down? That situation, third down, there's certain situations in the game where you get down, some you go for it. That was one of them. I don't blame him for trying to get a first down, and hopefully he's okay, because that was a heck of a sandwich there by Louisiana in that defense.
Certainly hope that he's okay. There is some good news from Marshall in terms of, and that's a great sign. He's up right now, and of course they're going to, now more than ever, the cautiousness after a hit like that to make sure everything is intact. But they have another quarterback in Cam Fancher that they use quite a bit.
Yeah, and we're taking another look at the head, and
Timeout for an injured player of the offense. By rule, that is eligible for a 10-second deduction.
And that's an even better sign. Columbi to his feet. And by his own power will make his way back to the Marshall sideline.
oh, it's an interesting call right now. And I mean, it's the last thing you want to do. You have a backup quarterback coming in. Fourth down and short around the 45. Not the time, especially when you got some momentum on your side heading into halftime. Punt this ball.
Thank you.
And if I'm Marshall, I'm feeling pretty darn good going up 7-3 in the halftime with kind of how up and down it was there.
And Marshall gets the ball first in the second half. They finally put their best drive together, the 10-play, 87-yard touchdown drive. And the defense has been salty all night long. So if you keep this a 7-3 game at the half, advantage Marshall in more ways than one. We talked about how dangerous that man is, Eric Garrett. Already 2 punt returns for touchdowns this season. He will not get an opportunity here. It takes a bounce at the 6 and rolls into the end zone with 12 seconds. Make it 11 or make it 10. 10 seconds left to go in the opening half.
Yeah, good call right there. I said, I mean, for I would say a quarter and a half, Louisiana had opportunity after opportunity, moving the football, not being able to capitalize. It looked like they had kind of the answers to the test here tonight, and then Marshall was able to get the big drive the previous possession to get 7 points on the board. So you kind of feel like, man, we survived Louisiana's first couple shots, some haymakers. Defense stood up there in the red zone, and then our offense was found a way to get in the red zone or in the end zone themselves. So
you see that number on how teams have done when leading at the half or trailing. Louisiana the last 2 years, 13-1 in one possession games. That was the calling card of the Billy Napier era. They've had tougher luck this year. The ball has not bounced their way. We'll see if it does bounce their way in the second half. They'll be trailing at 7-3, our halftime score. Time for the halftime report. We send you now to Zubin Mehenti and Trevor Maddich.
Mike, Aaron, thank you.
And we welcome you back to the Joan. Thundering herd of Marshall taking on the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana. 7-3 our halftime score. We were just about to get you set for the start of the second half. We thought this might be a possibility. It has come to fruition. We do have a weather delay. It literally just started a minute ago. So we're looking at least a 30-minute delay. We will certainly keep you posted. We will bring you back to the live action here in Huntington, West Virginia. Mike Morgan, Aaron Murray. A competitive first half, a big game for both of these teams, as we alluded to at the top, and a highly contested game through the first 30 minutes of action. So here's what we're going to do. Lightning delay, you know the drill. We're gone for at least 30, but we got you in good hands because Zubin Mehenti and Trevor Maddich will take care of you in the meantime. So guys, take it away, and we'll see you back here in Huntington soon enough.
Certainly hope so, Mike. Thanks very much. Disappointing, but not surprising. Bad weather was forecast all day long. We kind of got the first half in. Mother Nature winning the second half at this point. But again, if you're waiting for the second half, we'll keep you up to date. Mike and Aaron are watching the situation. It's going to be a minimum of 30 minutes, but hang tight. As soon as we hear anything, we will let you know. This is actually a very big crossover game in the conference. Before we get going on all the other big games from Saturday, we're going to preview it. So just stick with us here if you're a college football fan. Stick me inside the mind of a player. When something like this happens,
Thank you so much as we welcome you to ESPN College Football, presented by Ram Trucks. The players are back on the field. The fans are filing back out of the friendly confines here at the Joan in Huntington, West Virginia. Mike Morgan, Aaron Murray. It was a defensive battle in the first half. Marshall with a 7-3 lead as we get you set for half number 2. And maybe we'll see some more offense. Who knows? Again, he is Aaron Murray, the former Georgia quarterback. I am Mike Morgan. Aaron, we didn't think this would be a high-scoring game. Not necessarily a knock on the offenses, but because both of these defenses are awfully salty, hard-hitting, tough yards to get, Marshall just a little bit better. Yeah,
and then for Louisiana, I mean, there's been some movement offensively. You've seen them through the pass game. They've looked electric. Marshall, slow start on that side of the football, but got it going a little bit towards the end of half. So hopefully they can take some of the momentum that they gained on the offense, and we see a little bit more explosive plays here in the second half. But yeah, you said it, man. We knew this game was going to be defensive. Two of the best defenses in this conference.
It was a bit of a rock fight, no doubt about it. But when Marshall needed it most, they had the drive of the game. 10 plays, 87 yards. That's the difference.
Well, the big the play action pass to Gamage across the middle of the field, a big dig route. You run. You're going to get some of those opportunities. You turn that into a great red zone drive. Layburn, you know how strong he is around the goal line, able to punch it in to get to that 7-3. But your quarterback, Columbi, tries to take on a couple defenders, kind of gets knocked out of there. He is warming up right now heading into the second half, so we'll see if he comes out there and plays. And then for Louisiana, continue to feed Michael Jefferson. He is the best player on the field right now. You got to find a ways to get him matched up against these safeties and linebackers, move him around the and then inside this offense, and they will be fine being able to create some explosive plays through the air here in the second half.
You see, we only had 114 yards, 153 yards respectively for the Raging Cajuns and the Thundering Herd. What we didn't have, which is kind of surprising, we didn't have turnovers, because both these defenses have been remarkably good at forcing turnovers, two of the best in all of college football. So give each offense credit for that much. Ball security, they held on to it, they limited mistakes. You get the feeling somebody is going to spring another big play offensively in the second half, and that could be the difference.
Yeah, that's going to be the key. I mean, to feel like you're going to drive and have a 10, 15 play drive over and over again against either one of these defenses, it's a little naive. You got to create some explosive plays, and we have seen that from both sides. It's just obviously Marshall's able to capitalize a little bit more there towards the end of the half, and we're able to punch it in there for the touchdown. But I've been impressed with both teams, honestly. You know, obviously we were impressed with both defenses, but I think both offenses have shown me a little something. Just got to score touchdowns, no more field goals.
You saw a good sign there. That was Henry Colombi, the starting quarterback for Marshall. He got walloped late in the first half. Took a while to get off the field. He did walk off on his own power, but you weren't sure what his status will be. Marshall will get the football first, so we'll see with the utmost certainty whether or not Colombi comes out for the second half.
And Fancher's played a ton. The backup quarterback is essentially taking over the second half for Marshall. So he's played a lot of reps this year, more of the runner, more dynamic with his legs. So always planning to get him in the game, just maybe a little bit sooner than possibly they wanted to.
Harrison back to receive the kick. Rushes up, it's a short kick, scoops it up at the 5. Weaving his way past the 15, past the 30. Angling outside the numbers, or outside the hash rather, at the 40-yard line. Great return that time by Harrison, and good field position now for the Thundering Herd. So they'll pick up some more momentum here in the start of the second half.
Yeah, a little bit of an ugly kick. Thought the ball was actually going to go out of bounds. Took a favorable hop, and then great momentum, able to catch it on the run. And Colombi is out there as the starting quarterback, so that's a good sign, because that was a heck of a shot he took heading into halftime.
Yeah, it's kind of a scary shot, really. He got it from both angles and was down there for a while. So Colombi, the fifth-year senior, the transfer from Texas Tech, back out there to lead this Marshall offense. Best field position to start the drive from the 40, and right to the ground on first down for a pickup of 9. That is Kalen Laburn, the stop by Trahan for Louisiana.
And I tell you what, Louisiana came out with haymakers there in the first half on both sides of the football, and you just wonder if did Marshall kind of weather the storm early on, and do we see them separate here early in the second half?
We've had a lot of pre-snap penalties in this game. A whistle before the snap here. I don't see a flag.
Previous plays under review for possible targeting.
Now we have our first potential targeting call. You know, it's interesting. I go back to our seminar, and Steve Shaw does such a terrific job kind of getting us up to speed on all the new rules and everything else. I thought the most amazing stat, and I still stump people on this, the average enforced targeting penalty. There you see the shot there, late lowering the head. That is Pedesclo. But only 1 out of every 5 games is there an enforced targeting. So 0.20 per game. I think people believe it's worse because it's the most talked about penalty in college football every year, right?
Yep.
I mean, we're obsessed with it.
Well, there's so many games too, and that's why. I mean, how many games are there every single weekend? And you see Cam Pedesco there, number 0, lowering his helmet, and you look at where he ends up right now. And this is obviously, you want to protect the offensive player, but look at the positions he's in, lowering his head. His head is actually going to be cocked backwards.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous position for both sides.
And that's a great point, because so often the rule is to protect the guy committing the hit, not the guy who's absorbing the hit. It's just as dangerous if you're making the tackle,
there is no
lowering
foul
the
for
head.
targeting. Second down.
Yeah, no penalty there, no targeting, but that's still, to me, that's that's teaching tape for him of, man,
no doubt.
Keep your head up. Like, that is not a position you want to be in as a defender.
So it sets up a 2nd down and 1 now for this Marshall offense. Again, it was a thundering herd that had the late 10-play, 87-yard drive for the touchdown to give us our lone touchdown of the night. Colombi out of the gun with Laburn to his right. On play action. Good pocket now. It collapses and down goes Colombi. He had some time, Aaron, but you only have so much before you got to let it go.
That's a great job on the back end coverage sack. You know, they're doing the heavy play action, keeping more essentially offensive linemen and protectors in there, almost a somewhat, you know, not complete max protection, but someone's got to get open down the field.
And now 3rd down and short. Marshall 0 for 6 on 3rd down. That'll change here. Laburn lowers the helmet and burrows his way for 4 tough yards. Move the chains into plus territory.
Well, it's a great job by the offensive lineman, and also number 83, Devin Miller, who we want to see get involved here a little bit more in the second half in the passing game. But great job knocking his defender down to create the running lane. Now, these are the looks that when you look out there and you see a 6-man box, this is where you want to run it. Louisiana's done a great job adding these safeties in late, though.
Colombi from the pocket. Deep ball. Coverage, and there's the pick. Pick number 11 this year for the Ragin' Cajuns. It's Trahan with his 2nd of the season. 11 interceptions. That is now 2nd best in all of FBS college football and the 15th takeaway for that Louisiana defense.
Yeah, and that's just, that's bad on the quarterback. You're going to pump fake. Look where his eyes are the entire time. He's staring down a receiver on a double move with a single high safety who said, all right, fine, you're looking left. I guess you want to throw it left. And just makes it way too easy for Trahan to come over there and essentially sit there like an outfielder, high point the football for the interception. You got to do a great job as a quarterback, making sure you keep that. What you do is you allow the receiver to beat the DB. You let him do his job. Your job is to keep the safety in the middle of the field or even push him to the right side, knowing that your receiver is going to do his job.
Now, we mentioned at the top, I've never seen a defense coming into a game that had 10 interceptions by 10 different players. They finally have a guy with 2 now. And 11 on the year. See if the Ragin' Cajuns can capitalize. Wooldridge on a 1st down keeper brought down by Eli Neal after a gain of 3.
Yeah, those are ball hawks, but that may have been one of the easier interceptions they've had all year. Now let's see if this offense can capitalize. And the running game was a little bit stagnant there in the first half, and I thought their best plays were play action, booting their quarterback outside the pocket and throwing the ball vertically down the field.
Again, no Chris Smith tonight, their top tailback. Quick pass into the flat, caught, and immediately lassoed down. That's Meagle, the tight end, his 3rd grab. But even when they're throwing those short passes, there's not much daylight. Stephen Gilmore on the tackle, number 3 in black. If the name sounds familiar, he is the younger brother of Stephon Gilmore, the former South Carolina Gamecock All-American who's still getting it done in the National Football League, now with the Colts. Gilmore, a little bit under-recruited, a little undersized coming out of high school compared to his brother, but he has already had a terrific year.
There you got Michael Jefferson one-on-one the backside.
On 3rd and 5. Backing up as he throws and just throws it out of bounds. Wooldridge was looking near side, could not find an open target. Owen Porter, and they said number 55 is going to be a problem for us. We have to block Owen Porter. He was the man supplying the pressure.
Oh, he's absolutely relentless. He does not quit. A motor like no other on this football team. And, you know, maybe not the most skilled on that front 4, but that guy that you know is going to go 110% every single play. Great job there. Just a long developing play. Mesh concept. Did not happen fast enough and allowed him to get in there and disrupt the quarterback.
So that's a missed opportunity off the turnover. Louisiana winds up punting it Burns out to punt the Aussie. It's a line drive picked up at the 12. There's a flag all the way near the line of scrimmage. So hold the phone on the return. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, that's on Marshall. It was 4th and 5.
Oh, it's a long 5, about 5 and a half.
Yeah, about 5.5. So you'd be right near midfield, and you'd be about a half a yard shy of a first down. Do you roll the dice and gamble here? You haven't had much going offensively if you're Coach Desmore.
Well, let's not forget they did go for it on 4th down there in the first half. And
Look at formation on the defense, lining up over the center. 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
And these are the mistakes you can't make, man. You're midway through the season. Like, you know you cannot put someone up over the center. And listen, they were unsuccessful that first time. It was a little bit long, 4th and 6. As we see, someone directly over. Like, this is something you can't make these type of mistakes. But I'd expect a punt once again. I'm not going to go for it, but it looks like they're bringing out the offense.
Yeah, I mean, there was a long thought process there by Coach Desormeaux and company on the sideline, and they're going to go for it here. Again, about a half a yard. You've got Terrence Williams, the big bruising tailback behind Wooldridge. Snap, handoff, first down. Raging Cajuns will move the chains on a 4th down conversion. He's still on his feet. They're finally whistling dead at the 45 of Marshall. That was 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th effort by Terrence Williams.
That's a great job by the left side of that offensive line. Gilly and Thomas. And you see them completely washed down. I mean, look at that. Just moving bodies, big bodies, moving big bodies on defense. Making that first down run easy.
He took on the linebacker, Beauplan, who was there to meet him, and just drove him backwards. Now 1st and 10 plus territory. Deep shot down the sideline. Jump ball and a beautiful catch. John Stevens, the 6'5" senior, beats Gilmore, and the biggest pass play for the Raging Cajuns.
Now we keep asking for Michael Jefferson, but when you got a 6'5" receiver too, one-on-one on the outside, throw it up for the big man. Great job going up there high point in, and he secured that thing.
34 yards, first down, penalty flag before the snap again.
You know, it's funny, before Marshall's touchdown, Louisiana had a silly penalty that kept the drive alive, and now all of a sudden Marshall repaying that favor.
Delay game defense, disconcerting signals, number 24, clapping to simulate the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Here's what I wanted to ask you, Aaron. Does that happen a lot, disconcerting signals? So the defense is trying to cause you to go and have everybody off kilter there.
Well, especially nowadays with all these quarterbacks clapping cadence. You know, defense is saying, hey, man, we're going to clap to essentially shift.
Right.
But it simulates what the offense is trying to do. So, yeah, I love it.
You didn't fall for that a lot, though.
Well, it's not me. It's an offensive line jumping, and they hear it. That's the problem.
Now 1st and 5. In the flat, passes rejected at the line of scrimmage. There is Beauplan. And make it Charlie Gray, who got his paw on it, 6-year senior, all 6'3", 215 pounds of him.
Oh, he read that. Anytime you're going to motion the running back, or excuse me, a receiver in that orbit motion, a lot of times it's a quick throw to the outside on a swing route. Let's see now, man. They've had some good drives this football game in the first half, and best drive yet, getting inside the 10-yard line. Just gotta come away with 7. They talked about the coaching staff.
Yeah, too many 3s, not enough 7s. On 2nd down, corner route, end zone. Is he out? Waiting for the signal. It's 17, Dante Fleming saying he's in. And they will call it a touchdown. What a throw right on target to Dante Fleming. First reception of the night for Fleming.
Ooh, baby, he made this tough for his receiver. What a concentrated catch. Great job.
Oh,
Gets
yeah.
the right foot in, secures the catch. I mean, ball could have gone up right now. And to be able to track that's some impressive stuff from Fleming right there. Still a great throw, but a heck of a catch. Willie Mays style there in the back of the end zone.
Only the 5th grab of the season for Dante Fleming, the first touchdown on a beautiful throw by Ben Wooldridge. We got 2 touchdowns, my friends. Nice drive by Louisiana, capped off with a touchdown score by Fleming.
Yeah, it started with the big guy, one-on-one. 6'5" Stevens making a catch. Get in the red zone. We're going to take advantage. Heck of a throw. Fleming with a big touchdown catch. Louisiana takes the lead.
The raindrops falling, but the touchdowns now starting to mount up a little bit. One late by Marshall in the first half, one early here in the third quarter by the Ragin' Cajuns in the second half. As Louisiana has a 3-point lead in a game where offense has been dominated by 2 really strong defenses as Marshall brings out the kickoff just shy of the 20-yard line. Aaron Murray, I mean, when you go back to that drive, it was helped in large part by some critical penalties on Marshall.
Yeah, and just silly penalties on both sides of the football. It is especially on the defensive side, things you can't do. You can't line up over the center. 4th down and 6. You allow Louisiana to get to a 4th and 1, run the football to get the first down, and then, simulating the snap count with the clap of the hands, adds another 5 yards, and then they're able to put it in. So, we've seen 2 touchdowns tonight from both teams that have come because of penalties extending the drive. First half, Louisiana themselves committed a personal penalty to extend the drive. Marshall able to then capitalize with a touchdown.
On first down, let's see what Marshall has in store to respond. How about a big run? Ripping off 9 yards. It's Kalen Laburn, tackled by Tyrone Lewis.
Well, we're going to see a lot more of this run game. Obviously, those who were not tuned in, we had a little bit of a weather delay at halftime, and there are some storms coming in, and it's starting to rain a little bit.
Big hole up the middle, past the 35, and down to the 39-yard line. A steady dose of Kalen Laburn again. What did the coaching staff tell us? He gets better as the game moves along.
Well, it's because they stay committed to the run. I mean, that's the biggest thing, Mike. It's like they are not afraid to play low-scoring games and understand that, hey, man, 3rd and 4th quarters when we shine, when our offensive line really starts to dominate up front, and then when our running backs, like you alluded to, just they get stronger.
First down and 10 from the 39-yard line. Colombi out of the shotgun, 5 in the pattern, goes underneath and missed the target that time. He had Kalen Laburn out of the backfield.
Well, Laburn needs to just turn sooner. I mean, you're the first read. It's a slant, flat combination sleigh route, and quarterback's looking right to the flat right now. If your running back gets leverage on the flat defender, you're letting it rip. And ball wasn't great, but running back needs to get his head turned around a little bit sooner.
On second down, back to the ground game, nothing doing. Drop for a loss as Ethan Payne swallowed up in the backfield. That is Zion Hill-Green, the leader of this Ragin' Cajun D.
And that's a great job, too, by Caleb Anderson, number 11. He's the one who really set the edge on the outside. Look at him come through, getting right around Devin Miller, forcing the running back to come inside for the rest of the defense, the gang tackle.
3rd and long here. What do you dial up now? Colombi just had the bad pick on the last drive. You haven't had much rhythm in your passing game.
Well, middle of the field is where you want to attack right now. They're doubling the backside X receiver, one-on-one the backside to the field, but that's a long throw in this weather.
Blitz dialed up by Louisiana, and another sack. Completely devoured in the pocket. Couple of white jerseys come storming in. That is Chris Moncrief leading the charge.
Lots of stunts up front and just miscommunication, passing off those stunts. And we were worried about Louisiana up front offensively with their moving offensive linemen around, but really Marshall struggled a little bit, picking up some of these unique blitzes and stunts up front.
Guerrer back to receive the punt on the back pedal. Will haul it in at the 24. Should have called a fair catch and is wrapped up for a loss on the return. Louisiana will take over up by 3 when we come back. Oh, how quickly momentum has changed this game in the second half. Louisiana now out to a 3-point lead with 7:50 to go, third quarter. Mike Morgan, Aaron Murray, Coach Dez. We talked about him and the job that he has done. The former all-conference quarterback, then had a cup of coffee in the pros. Decided he wanted to be a coach, coached in high school, then was an assistant under Billy Napier. There were a lot of people that went to bat for him and said, that's the guy that we want for this job, and keep the continuity and the momentum from Billy Napier. There's a great article by Pete Thamel today, one of the great authorities in college football on ESPN, talking about the process and talking about the state of Louisiana, where Coach Dez is from. How about this for a stat, Aaron? 71 Louisiana natives are on NFL rosters. That's one for every 70,000 people in the state. That is by far and away per capita the most of any state in the country. There's a little water cooler fact for tomorrow on Thursday. Pump and go over the middle, caught at the 45 and into plus territory. Down to the 35 and the 34-yard line is the tight end, Neil Johnson. It's the first time we've called his name tonight, and it's a 43-yard gain for Louisiana.
I mean, right down the middle of the field, too high safety. Great job. We talk about with eyes with quarterbacks, and we illustrated on the interception there with Columbia to start the half, but great job by Wooldridge right there, moving safeties with his eyes to get the big play down the field.
Hit as he throws, leaping catch in traffic. What a grab by Michael Jefferson. Now they say incomplete. Oh, goodness, a tremendous effort by the 6'4" go-to target, Michael Jefferson, who was covered by Elijah Alston.
Now let the big guy go up there and make a play. Oh, right through his hands. Great job defensively, man. That's he's step for step, stride for stride.
Got it there.
And that ball just comes right out.
Hold on. I like the aggressiveness, though. They're starting to open it up a little bit. On second down, back to the ground game. Spinning. And then runs into a dog pile at the 30-yard line. Does Caboti.
I'll tell you what, man. I know Chandler Fields was, has been the guy this season, and it's just it's good to know that Wooldridge can come in there and play like this, like on the road against a very, very good defense. I mean, how many times did we see this past weekend backup quarterbacks come in there and struggle across the country? If you don't have someone that you can rely on to come in there and play like this, you're in big, big trouble. So this has to feel good as a football team.
No question. And he continues to gain confidence drive after drive here on a 3rd and 6. That one threads the needle, almost a pick. Instead, the catch is made by Johnson. Boy, that looked like a precarious throw.
A bunch of Raging Cajun fans are just, we're about to yell and scream at me like, don't jinx our boy. That was a scary, scary throw.
I mean, Jadarius Green McKnight, the former Seminole, had that right in the crosshairs, and he's got to be saying to himself, how did I not come away with that? This looked like a pick 6.
I thought it was a pick 6. I mean, his body language seemed like he picked the ball off. I mean, right there, just out of his reach. Yeah, man, I felt like I always hate that.
The Aaron Murray jinx?
Yeah, the jinx. Yeah. You're talking so good about a kid, making him feel like he's a superstar, then, But hey, listen, didn't jinx him. Great throw.
No.
It's a heck of a catch.
So far, your reputation is safe with one Ben Wooldridge. On 2nd and 10, 3 wide set. Handoff, probes the right side, and down to the 16-yard line is Terrence Williams. Anthony Watts on the tackle. That's actually Washington, Draylon Washington.
Well, they got good size. I mean, that's a good thing we're seeing right now in this football game. Like, they got some guys from Jefferson to Stevens to Johnson, big bodies that go up there and make some plays. Right now, 3rd and long situation, your top receivers out of the ball game. Oh, no, he's in there. My apologies. Bottom of your screen, you'll see him matched up. You got 8 and 9 right now.
It is the 7th play of the drive. A 3rd down and 8. Marshall showing blitz. They love to bring it. Here come the Thundering Herd. Sidestep, throw, end zone, leaping catch, but looked like out of bounds. So no catch for Michael Jefferson. That's the guy you were circling, Aaron.
Yep.
And they found him, but ran out of real estate.
I mean, he's just, I know it wasn't completion, but you can see why the scouts really like his game. 6'4", smooth, does a tremendous job being able to high point footballs. Crisp route runner. But great job defensively, man. They made some big plays here as Louisiana was starting to get some momentum.
This will be officially a 33-yard attempt from Almendarez. Snap and kick. And this one is perfect. Just the 2nd field goal make for Almendarez, and it's now a 13-7 lead for the Ragin' Cajuns. Largest lead for Louisiana. On Monday, it's another AFC West showdown. This one between Russell Wilson and the 2-3 Broncos, and Justin Herbert and the 3-2 Chargers at beautiful SoFi Stadium. 8 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Our coverage beginning with Monday Night Countdown at 6 o'clock. Aaron Murray will break down what's going wrong with the Broncos offense in 10 seconds.
Give Judy the ball. Need some more fantasy points. That's what they need to do.
Very scientific remedy right there for sure.
A lot of selfish reasons in that one.
Thundering Herd need to be selfish on offense, get some points. Return out to the 23-yard line by Harrison. All right. Now all of a sudden we're not talking about the Louisiana offense struggling. We're talking about the Marshall offense that needs to get it cranked up here. What do you want to see on this drive?
Well, the play-action pass. I mean, what ignited them in that first half? It was a great play-action pass, dig route to Corey Gamage across the middle that was able to get them into the red zone. You know, the running game has been very inconsistent. They get a couple good runs and they get stopped, and just, you know, at some point you gotta say, hey man, we have to take some shots down the field, some play-action shots. I want to see that a little bit more. See if you can get Gamage matched up and take advantage.
So Charles Huff, head coach of Marshall, looking on in his 2nd year. These two teams meeting 10 months ago in the New Orleans Bowl. Louisiana winning that one. Of course, Billy Napier was the coach then. He's now in Gainesville. Charles Huff is really a great story. They played at Hampton, played at an HBCU, played 4 different positions. He was a fullback, he was a tight end, he was a guard, he was a center. And we asked him about it. He said, guys, I wasn't good enough to play any one position. I just had to keep switching it around. And I wasn't ever going to be one of those guys who lived in a weight room. I was more about scheme. He knew he wanted to be a coach when he grew up in Maryland. When he was 8 years old, he said, that's where I see myself long term. Grinded. At one point, he had a 5-stop odyssey where he coached at 5 different places in 5 years, the life of a grinding assistant. And then Nick Saban, Nick and his wife both said to anybody that would listen at Marshall, this is your guy, the right time, the right man for the job. And he is eternally grateful to Nick Saban. We asked him, you know, what was the first thing you did when you were offered the job? He said, I called Nick Saban, and then I called my wife to get permission to take the job. A smart move.
All right, big 3rd down. Those jet sweeps and reverses just have not worked for Marshall tonight. I don't know why they keep going back to them. It seems like every time it's a negative play, I think you got to throw those out the window the remainder of the game.
This is not an offense that is designed for 3rd and long. It's another one here, 3rd and 11. Columbi scrambling for his life and will go down. Another sack for Louisiana. And the fans getting a little impatient now. Some boo birds here at the Joan.
Well, they try to set the play action, or not play action, but fake, pump fake to the outside. And we're looking to actually set up a screen to Devin Miller up the middle. And you see Miller coming, and just great job defensively. Once again, linebackers staying home. They sniffed it right out. And nothing open. But I just think still, man, you run the ball, and it just seems like I'll say it again, it seems like every time they do a reverse or a jet sweep, they're just not getting the edge.
4 sacks, 9 tackles for loss now for this Raging Cajun defense. They have come to play here in Huntington. Pence punt stops dead near midfield, and Louisiana will have good field position, up by 6, 2:11 to go, third quarter. Now you can help people affected by Hurricane Ian. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster. I know it's kind of been out of the spotlight. Aaron, you and I both have family in the Sunshine State. I'm sure you, like me, know people that were affected by Hurricane Ian, and can't say enough about people lending a helping hand and helping those in need. .2:11 to go, third quarter. Louisiana going to try to add a little bit of insurance. Nobody's been able to separate, kind of the type of game that you and I thought it would be. A laser over the middle, a little bit behind the intended target, Peter LeBlanc.
Well, he puts it out in front on the right chest play. That's an opportunity for a catch and possibly touchdown. Drew it up perfectly. You're at the 50-yard line. You want to take a shot, play action. You get the linebackers to suck up. I mean, look at the linebackers. They're in the back. They're behind the line of scrimmage. Just got to put it out in front of your receiver, and you have a chance for an explosive play.
Williams in the backfield on second down, looking to throw, buying time, and now going to put it on the side and race toward the boundary, out of bounds at the 40, right near the marker. Looks to be a yard shy, but another nice run by Ben Woldridge. He's impressed me with his legs tonight.
I just think everything. I mean, we were told heading this game, like, hey man, he's going to be a guy that, yeah, has to run the ball for us to have success, but it was going to be more of a quick, essentially rhythm passing game. But we've seen a lot of him pushing the ball vertically down the field, kind of showing off that arm strength that we really, to us, really weren't sure he had.
Right.
And I think he's, impressed his coaches. I think he impressed his fellow receivers and guys on offense. I mean, he's checked a lot of boxes tonight, throwing it accurately, taking care of the football. Knock on wood, don't want to jinx him again in that aspect. And then running it when he needs to run it.
It is his first career start, but as we told you at the top, he's played throughout this season, so he's not exactly raw. Plus, he's a transfer from Fresno State. He's got reps, he's got experience.
Offense, breaking the huddle with 12 players. Number 88 is late leaving the field. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Now, one of those penalties that Marshall was guilty of for much of the third quarter. Now, this time it's the Raging Cajuns in a generous mood. Lumpkin did not get off the field in time. Coach Dez is hot. He's Raging Cajun hot. Those are the kind of mistakes that'll drive a coach crazy.
We've seen a few from both teams tonight. Like, I get it if it's like the first or second game of the season, but we're midway through. Like, some of this stuff is just, it shouldn't be happening.
Got to race off a little bit quicker than that. 2nd and 14. Straight up the gut, handoff. With a burst of speed, it's Draylon Washington. He's kind of their change of pace back. Redshirt freshman out of Hemp Hill, Texas. No Chandler Fields, no Chris Smith, the starting quarterback and tailback for Louisiana. But really, they haven't missed a beat in terms of quarterback play and running back play so far in this game. Obviously, you'd love to have Chris Smith. He's one of the most electric players in the league. But they've been able to scratch and claw their way without him so far.
It's a big third down for both teams. Just feel like the way this is going, if you're able to get a touchdown on this drive and make it a 2-score game.
On 3rd and 8, 4-man rush. Woldridge says, I got this, directing traffic. Tiptoes near the 30. He needed the 29. Cumberlander escorted him out of bounds. Where's the spot?
About a yard short here. I definitely think, they went for it in the last 4th and 1. I expect the same thing. Downhill zone running. Right now, Marshall's not lined up. Snap it and go.
Quickly. And pre-snap penalty. You needed less than a yard, and you might get backed up 5 here.
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
just like there was a hesitation from the center. The quarterback smacked the hands. He's saying, hey, give me the ball right now. Offensive line was ready to go. They couldn't hold their water any longer. It's just a little bit delayed from the center. Clap the hands, snap the football. Snap it.
Again, 4 new starters on that offensive line. They had a lot of attrition there. 52-yard attempt for Almendarez. His career long is 51. That came against South Alabama. From the right hash. Kick is on the way. Looks like it has the leg, and it has 3 points written all over it. Just sneaking through and just over the crossbar. A new career long for Kenneth Almendarez.
Defense stepping up, getting off the field. And then the kicker, thicker kicker, 16-7, Louisiana.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Ram Trucks. Mike Morgan, Aaron Murray with you here in West Virginia. The Raging Cajuns of Louisiana leading the Marshall Thundering Herd 16-7. First 2 possession lead for either side tonight. And for Marshall, time to get it in high gear as we get ready for the 4th quarter of play. Drifting into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Thundering Herd will have it from their own 25-yard line. Now the question becomes, Aaron, as you look at the slate for the upcoming Sun Belt games, keep in mind now there are 15 undefeated teams in FBS. 2 of them are from this conference. Coastal Carolina 6-0, 25th ranked James Madison 5-0 on the season. See, Georgia Southern at Old Dominion, Southern Miss, and Texas State. Marshall will take on James Madison. And we were just talking about Henry Columbia has struggled a bit. Cam Fancher is a guy that they play a lot. Yep. They really have a 2-quarterback system, but for whatever reason, we had not seen him yet in this game. He comes out to start the drive.
Well, I just wonder, as they get the drive going with a great run there, if there was an anticipation from Charles Huff here the second half that, hey, we're going to have to throw the ball in order to win this football game. And you know, Colombo is our better of the 2 throwing the football. I'm not saying Fancher can't, but he is more of the running quarterback.
20 carries, 122 yards on the season for Fancher. Leyburn, by the way, who quietly has another 100-yard rushing game. He's now up to 112 yards on 23 carries. So that part of the diet for the Marshall offense has been fine. He's got 100 yards in every game this season. The problem is they haven't really had, other than the one sustained drive at the end of the half, they haven't had many big plays, and when they've gotten into plus territory, they haven't capitalized. Raindrops falling now as the pass is complete. Boy, that was thrown in heavy traffic, and Montgomery reels it in.
That's a heck of a catch. That's someone I want to see get involved in this football game too. Montgomery is an athlete, is a player you just want to get the ball in space and see what he can do. And I will say, watching Fancher throw in warm-ups, this was a ball that he threw extremely well. Balls down the middle of the seam. 21
yards on that pickup. Now the rain is really picking up, a heavy downfall. 4 or 5 more yards, that time on the ground for A.J. Turner.
Oh, for Marshall, I know you're down 2 scores, but still plenty of time in the game. I think goal right now is don't feel like you got to get it all back right now on each play. Get some points on the board this drive, whether it's a field goal or touchdown. Get it back to a 1-possession game. Be patient. Especially a quarterback coming in, you come in down 16-7, you think you got to go out there and be Superman. Just do your job and take completions.
Fancher, the redshirt freshman, trying to provide a spark. He'll do so with some heavy rainfall. Looking at a wet football right now. He fires that one wide of the mark and incomplete. Keaton was out, but covered rather well on the play by Trey Amos.
Yeah, it is. It is coming down. As a quarterback myself with one of the biggest hands in the world. I I'd be stressing out right now. Like, please, the run game, get going, because I don't want to throw the football.
Thundering Herd 1 for 9 on 3rd down. I mean, does this change your play calling with the rain falling the way it is?
Well, I think it's also, it's 4-down territory here. I don't know if you trust the kicking game right now, so I would run it twice.
3rd and 5. Handoff straight ahead, burrowing to the 35. Not much there. That hole was plugged quickly by Andre Jones.
And we're seeing right now the receivers and tight ends taking their gloves off, saying, all right, this is enough of that. And we talk about Fancher and how athletic he is, and let's also remember he is a left-handed quarterback, so you have an opportunity to get him possibly on the roll to his left. I try to utilize his legs a little bit here on this 4th and 3.
4th down, 3 yards to go. Fancher out of the shotgun. He will keep it, driving forward, not going to make it. Well, wait a minute, now the ball comes out and is picked up by a lineman down to the 10-yard line. They're going to have to clean this up. Everybody appeared to think that the play might be over. Instead, Logan Osborne, the center, wound up with it and wound up at the 10.
It's a big man dream right there. It's a big man run the football. Holy smokes, who's that dude?
The runner's forward progress was stopped short of the line to gain.
And they will say forward progress was stopped.
Uh-oh, that's a fumble.
That's a fumble.
That is a fumble. He's like, oh, hello there,
look
Mr.
at
Hank.
Oh, that is a gift.
The early Halloween little trick-or-treat gift right there. That's unfortunate. That's a big man dream right there. Look at him, high and tight. Pump those arms. He's telling his man, block, get out of my way. Rumbling, tumbling. Oh, my goodness.
He even threw a little stiff arm out there at the end.
My man was feeling it. That's going to go on his Instagram later.
So by saying forward progress is stopped, we just move on. Oh, that is a tough break for Marshall. Maybe we can get another look at that on the other side.
I think he's saying you can't review that.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those, it's just a bad break.
Well, this is why they always say, man, let the play continue and then go correct it afterwards for that specific purpose right there.
Meanwhile, Louisiana will continue to grind. Little ground and pound. Clock is on their side with a 2-possession lead.
Yeah, right now, no rush at all. You know, the way your defense is playing, I would eat up every second on that clock as you can. Let that thing wind down. They're going a little bit too fast for my liking right now.
Wooldridge on 2nd down. Snap hit the ground, picks it up, slides, and then gets pummeled on the slide, and that will draw a flag. In fact, that might draw a couple of flags. Andre Sam was the man who hit him.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense with targeting, number 20. Previous plays under further review.
Well, look at the head dip. I mean, once again, this is to protect the defender at the moment. You cannot duck your head. He's literally facing the ground. Like, it just...
We'll step aside as they take a look at it. 11:52 to go. Raging Cajuns on top. You got a couple things at play here. You've got a hit on a quarterback sliding. That's a no-no. And now the question whether or not there's targeting.
There is no foul for targeting. The late hit on the quarterback for sliding results in a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
Yeah.
Number 20 may remain in the game.
No, and
I think that's the right call.
Yeah, it's not targeting. I mean, the contact was initiated with the shoulder. I'm more concerned long-term because his head still dipped. And that's what we're trying to get better at, of avoiding lowering your helmet. Like, yes, you didn't initiate it with your helmet, but you also put your neck in a really bad position. You need, what they always say, keep your eyes up, see what you hit. And right there, he definitely did not see what he hit.
Yeah, and Andre Sam is, I mean, his case that he's pleading is that he led with the shoulder. That's true, but the moment you see the quarterback initiate the slide, you have to lay off. That's That's an automatic. And if you're Marshall, the thing that's concerning, you've had costly penalties in this game. Good run that time by Wooldridge, brought down by Cumberlander. I mean, you think about it, going back to the punt.
Yep.
The punt where they lined up off sides, that kept the drive going. It set up a 4th and 1 from the Raging Cajuns. That was
Offense, number 88, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It's on the tight end, Johnny Lumpkin.
Yep.
That was the drive that really changed the momentum of this game. Louisiana would cap it off with a score, and ever since then, they have owned this game.
Yep. No, and listen, they did in the first half too. I mean, if you just go back and watch the first half alone, and obviously they only put 3 points on the board, but they were driving there, playing great on defense. They had gave up one big drive in which Marshall was able to capitalize for a touchdown. But other than that, I mean, this has been the Raging Cajuns dominating on both sides of the football.
Marshall defense desperately could use a stop here. Wooldridge under heavy pressure and just tosses it away. Heads up play. I mean, he's really, I've been impressed, as much as I've been impressed with the athleticism, Aaron, the decision making by Ben Wooldridge tonight.
Oh, and he's doing it without, one, being QB1 the entire season, so limited reps, and then two, without your best, I think your best player, Chris Smith. I mean, he's had to essentially carry the load of being the thrower and at times the runner in this offense. And you see the stats, 31 yards rushing, 192 yards passing, has spread the wealth to tight ends and receivers. So I think he's having a heck of a night. And not to forget, on the road against one of the better defenses in this conference.
Young man out of Pleasanton, California. Aggressive run that time by Draylen Washington. You need to stop if you're Marshall. You certainly can't allow a touchdown. That becomes overly problematic. A field goal keeps it a 2-score game.
I'm interested to see how aggressive this play call is for Louisiana. I mean, you're up 2 scores. Your defense has been terrific. Momentum's on your side. As an offensive guy, I'm saying go for it, go for it, go for it. But pretty bad conditions right now. I'm playing this thing safe, and I'm going to let my defense go win the game for me.
Let's see what they dial up on 3rd and 12. 4-man rush by Marshall. Quarterback keeper straight ahead. Breaking tackles at the 35 and down to the 31-yard line. Have yourself a night, Ben Wooldridge.
I love it. Nice. Spread him out. Safe play call. Your quarterback's running the ball great. We just showed you the stat, 31 yards rushing. 2 high safeties. You got numbers in the box, and now you add an extra number because of the quarterback running. Great play call.
15-yard scamper. Quickly. Tempo. Pass caught at 25. Broken tackle Jefferson, and he will trot to the end zone on a head-first slide. 32 yards and a score. Wooldridge on the pass, hitting the top target, Michael Jefferson.
You see the confusion defensively, not enough defenders. I mean, you cannot leave Michael Jefferson one-on-one. They've done a great job of putting safeties over top, not putting their corners on an island. Right there. Louisiana taking advantage, one-on-one slant, perfectly thrown football. That's a big man, 6'4", solid. Able to stay up, run through a couple tackles for the touchdown.
Some beads around the neck, oversized beads for Michael Jefferson. Louisiana with a statement drive. Remember that 3rd and 12, the keeper by Wooldridge. That turned out to be the difference.
This offense is rolling in this football game, and Wooldridge is feeling himself, finds his top target. Louisiana extends the lead.
The Sunday NFL Countdown crew has you covered for Week 6, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 Pacific. And the Monday Night Countdown crew gets you set for the Broncos Chargers, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Both on ESPN and on the ESPN app. He's the former Georgia quarterback, Aaron Murray. I'm Mike Morgan. Great to be with you on a Hump Day installment of Sun Belt football. Marshall, Louisiana, 2 teams that met 10 months ago in the New Orleans Bowl. First time Marshall has hosted a Sun Belt game. Recently out of Conference USA. And Marshall right now has dug itself one heck of a deficit. Louisiana has dominated this second half, now leading at 23-7. Raindrops have subsided, so a little bit better conditions for this Marshall offense to see if they can get something going. And you're starting to feel like it's now or never, Aaron.
Yeah, and I honestly, Cam Fancher looked pretty good there. That first drive, move around the pocket, had a beautiful seam throw up the right side. Obviously, this is not the situation he wants to be a part of. He wants to come in there and run the football, run the zone reads, use his legs. Right now, there's a feeling that, man, hey, kid, get that lefty arm loose because you're going to be throwing the ball over the ballpark these last 10 minutes of the football game.
Fancher, again, a guy, a redshirt freshman who's been part of the offense. They basically have gone with 2 quarterbacks in every game. They're big on RPOs. He's a big part of that. They're going to have to rely on that left arm quite a bit as well. He will use his legs on this play, get some positive yardage, get out of bounds. There's still plenty of time, and Marshall has the ability to get some big plays, but they can't just keep grinding it with Kalen Laburn anymore. He's got another 100-yard game, but that's not going to get it done at this point.
It's a 2-score game. I mean, 16 points. You got to score it. You got to get two-point conversions. So once again, just like we talked about the last drive, just continue to take this. Like, yeah, the clock is not on your side right now, but you're also there. You're not that crazy of a hurry. You're going to get 2 possessions. You got timeouts. Right now, the focus is, hey, we just got to find a way to get in the end zone right now, and it's 4-down territory here on out.
And again, the clock stops every first down. This will be pickup of about 5. Now, 2nd down and 5. 9 minutes and change remaining.
Louisiana going back to more. They're 3 down front, essentially giving up the run lanes a little bit.
Throw underneath to the 45, and now barging into plus territory is Laburn, so that'll stop the clock momentarily for the first down. Reminder, some big games: Oklahoma State, TCU, Clemson, Florida State. Well, it's been a different Clemson offense this year. We've got an injured player down on the field, and that is Chris Moncrief, the inside linebacker. We will step aside with 8:40 to go here in quarter number 4.
Timeout on the field.
ESPN College Football is presented by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Now you got to give these fans credit. It's a Wednesday night. That's not always the most convenient night to come out to the stadium. You also have a situation where we had a lightning delay of 30 minutes and change. We've had some rain. Good night to have a poncho, a raincoat, whatever else you can find. And of course, Marshall has struggled here in this second half. They could use a little juice here on this drive. That will help. Nice hook up that time by Fancher. And that's the first catch for Shadid Ahmed, the junior out of Richmond, Texas.
Yeah, listen, it's a school night. Kids got to wake up, go to school tomorrow. Yeah. You know, 50 minutes, essentially a 50-minute halftime between halftime and then the rain delay right with it. Some people a little restless, but
the thing about it is it's such a great opportunity, and we'll see this in a week or so with the Maction, which is always a fun part of our coverage on the ESPN networks. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, to get that kind of exposure for programs like this, the only game in town, it's invaluable.
Oh, and it's great for these kids too. I mean, you love it. I mean, you're the only game on TV right now on ESPN. It's a great opportunity to showcase your program and what you can do individually as well.
7th play of a rather methodical drive. And that throw off the mark, intended for Ahmed. Trey Amos on the coverage, but a penalty flag has been dropped.
Right now, too, for Louisiana, like I know you're kind of
Pass interference, defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I always say it, like the most dangerous lead in football is when you're up 2 scores.
Right.
Because all of a sudden, if a team scores once, and say they get the 2-point conversion, all of a sudden you get pretty tight on that sideline, like, uh-oh, we're only up 1 now. Like, you can never, ever, ever get comfortable in this game
Well, and I love the way they've done this drive. This is not a chunk play offense, right?
No.
So, I mean, it has to be methodical. I realize that if you're a little impatient, maybe that's not what you want to see if you're Marshall, but this is the way for them to get down the field against a rather stingy Louisiana defense. Again, a little short play to the wide side and out of bounds at around the 12-yard line. A catch for Talik Keaton.
Yeah, plenty of time in this game. I mean, 7 minutes, 35 seconds. I said at the beginning of the drive, you're going to get 2 more possessions this game. You don't feel like you need to be supersonic speed to get in the end zone right now, but I would start to worry a little bit if I'm Louisiana, man. You do not want to turn this into a 1-possession game.
2nd down and 4. Keep chipping away. Cost caught at the 5 by the tight end, lunging toward the goal line and stopped at the 1. Tight end Devin Miller. 10 yards, 1st and goal.
That's a great throw. I mean, lefty going to his right, being able to get around a defender up and over, and then Miller getting down to the 1.
And there is Laburn with the score. So Marshall not wasting any time getting to the line. And what an impressive drive. You march down the field, you chip away, 9 plays, 75 yards, 3 minutes, 7 seconds.
I mean, that's 2 great drives for Fancher. I mean, he's moved down the field twice now. Obviously, not able to capitalize on the previous drive on 4th down, but has made some really good throws, has used his legs. Now, all of a sudden, the ever-important 2-point play to make this a one possession game.
Payne is the backfield to the right of Fancher out of the shotgun.
Again, you got to use Fancher in those legs a little bit.
Gets it, running right, cuts back, tripped up, stacked up at the 1, and he'll be short. Now that's you know what you're going to run, right? I mean that play was.
I like them. I meant when I said using his legs, like actually roll him out.
Yeah.
Give him the option if nothing's open. But great drive for Marshall, but that's a huge stop for Louisiana. Eliminating the 2-point conversion, still a 2-possession game.
Under 7 minutes to play here at the Joan. Marshall on a blackout night in Huntington, West Virginia, trailing now by 10 points. 2-point conversion could have made it a 1-possession game. They're going to need a stop, a score, and some help after that, as Louisiana trying to pick up its first conference game of the year. The 4-time defending Western Division champs from the Sun Belt. There's a lot of players gone from those teams, not to mention their head coach now with the Florida Gators and Billy Napier. The story tonight, though, Ben Wooldridge, first start for the Raging Cajuns. Aaron, he's been terrific.
Oh, he's been in complete command this entire football game, throwing it, threading the needle, some dangerous passes, in complete command, and then also just utilizing his legs as well. We knew he was a great runner, but I mean, he is literally checked off every single box you want. Throwing the ball, moving around the pocket, utilizing his legs, and then taking care of it as well. Been a big difference in this football game. Been really impressed with the young man.
They have not really taken their foot off the gas, even when they've been up 2 scores. Do you think they played a little more conservative here?
I do.
They do on 1st down. Getting outside and down to the 30-yard line.
And right now too, it's huddle, relax, snap the ball under 10 seconds on that play clock. But you are in absolutely no rush. You're up 2 scores with 6 minutes to go in the football game. I mean, you would love a nice 3-4 minute drive right now.
Again, Chandler Fields out with an injury. Ben Wooldridge getting his first start. The coaches were very confident in Ben Wooldridge. They told us they would not scale back anything on the playbook. They did think he'd have to make plays on the ground for them to win tonight. He's done that. He's run the ball well to the tune of 10 carries, 46 yards. But what has been most impressive is his prowess throwing the football. 16 of 29, 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 turnovers.
Yep, 0 turnovers. That's the big one, man. That was something we talked about in the open. Like, what team, especially with weather incoming, it's been raining on and off, like what team can take care of the football the best? and especially with two defenses that are great at getting those turnovers. And Louisiana has been that team tonight. Right now, too, this is still mentality of, man, unless you just absolutely love the look on the outside, I keep the play clock running.
Critical third down for the Marshall defense, and they come through. Stacked up and brought down at the line of scrimmage. Abraham Beauplan, the fifth-year senior linebacker, leading the charge. Marshall will get it back. Clock ticking, a little over 5 minutes to go, still plenty of time.
It's a great job defensively. I mean, you see the cover four, you see those safeties ready to insert, and then tremendous job up front by that front seven. Defense did their job, got off the field 3 and out. This offense for Marshall's had 2 good drives. One turned into a touchdown. Let's see if they can keep that juice going.
Talik Keaton was an all-conference punt returner last year for Marshall in Conference USA. This, of course, in the Sun Belt. I would love a nice return here. He's got it measured near the 30, picks it up, makes a move at the 32, now reversing field, and was wrestled down at the 36-yard line. So decent field position for the Thundering Herd, who again, you have to have a score. Now you could, if you get stopped short, let's say at the 25.
Yep.
You're going to need 2 scores anyway. You could go field goal and then wait for a touchdown on the next drive.
Oh, 100%. You have to be in, I would say, comfortable field goal range to do that. But now this is, last drive was a sense of, hey, man, we don't have to rush as much.
Right. A little more urgency here.
A little bit more urgency here. You still got 3 timeouts in your pocket. So, I mean, we're not 2-minute pace here, but you're not dilly-dallying around
right.
Here.
Appears to be Cam Fancher's game the rest of the way, spelling Henry Columbi, who was the starter and played every snap for most of this game. Fancher dancing, buying time, and is sacked. That's a critical mistake. You take the loss, the clock still ticks. Sonny Hazard picks up the sack. That's another sack and tackle for loss for this Louisiana defense, which has been in the backfield all night.
Oh, they're dropping in coverage, and they green dog a linebacker late. Is able to really cause the problems. Quibido.
5 sacks, 10 tackles for loss. They come back with a big completion out to the 40-yard line. That's Talik Keaton on the reception. It'll stop the clock, 3:53 remaining.
I mean, you would love to be able to score a touchdown with north of 1.5 minutes to go, especially with those 3 timeouts in your pocket.
A 3rd down and 5. They need the 45. Snap with time. Now throw, and a great job defensively that time. Eric Guerrer, 8 career interceptions, all-conference performer. The senior makes the play.
It's a great job locking up. Ball's put in a good position, maybe a hair bit late, but does a good job of coming over the top without running through the receiver.
Now you got to have it here, right? I mean, 4th and 5, Marshall 2 for 3. On 4th down tonight. Rollout play to the left side. Going to tuck it and run to the 40. And lost the football. Recovered by the Ragin' Cajuns. Another turnover. Cortland Flowers caused it. Cortland Flowers recovered it. Zion Hill Green supplying the hit.
And I don't know if he just didn't see, but he had a wide open receiver in the flat. Perfectly designed play. It looked like Andre Jones, number 10, just was in his vision, was not able to throw around him, but had a guy open for the first down, was unable to get to him, and a great job defensively being able to knock it out.
Yeah, I mean, Narcisse had him low, and then Guerrer had him high, and just kind of a desperation attempt by Fancher to get there. How about this Louisiana defense? That is another forced turnover. They came in with 14 takeaways, and they'll add to that total tonight. That's one of the top marks in all of college football. 3 more takeaways tonight in this game. So
we just talked about it. I mean, we literally just brought up with Woolridge of why they've had so much success on offense, and #1 priority of any quarterback. And I know right there it's kind of desperation. You're trying to make a play. It's 4th down, game on the line. But it's the first thing you learn as a quarterback. This is your baby, man. You got to take care of it. Whatever you do not put it in harm's way. You don't give the defense an opportunity. And too many times tonight, whether it's an interception there in the first half where Columbia's looking down the receiver, it's an easy interception for the safety, to fumbles. Just been, honestly, man, it's been a little bit sloppy for Marshall with the penalties and turnovers tonight. I mean, a lot of stuff that they got to get back in that film room tomorrow and correct going forward.
But let's circle back to what we talked about at the top. This is a Louisiana team that lost a lot. You lose your coach, and now in today's day and age of no sitting out in the portal, you lose a bunch of starters. But you kept the culture, and you kept that with Coach Dez, and you kept the winning attitude around. So they just are coming off a rare 3-game losing streak. But that's not going to keep this team, this program down. And you look at that Western Division, a win tonight, they're certainly in the race. I mean, there's no question they've got a chance to defend that Western Division crown, which they've won 4 years in a row.
No, 100%, man. They are, and I think a big improvement for this football team as we check out the standings is that offensive line. The coach Jeff talked to us last night about that. I mean, as we look through the standings right now, Marshall most likely here in 3 minutes going to go to 0-2 in the conference. Louisiana going to get that much-needed win, going 1-2 now in conference play. A lot of season left, a lot of opportunity for them to get back to that conference championship game. And Marshall, man, you look at Coastal Carolina and James Madison and Old Dominion, and
yeah, I mean, that's the division right now.
That's some tough sledding. You're falling way behind.
You've got a different outlook right now with the East, with the way Coastal has had it rolling, and Coach Jamie Chadwell has done a phenomenal job, and they get their quarterback back, and I mean, they're going to be a tough out. We're still learning what James Madison has to offer with their transition. They've been nothing short of terrific. Now nationally ranked their first year in the Sun Belt. But in this division, in the Western Division, it really is kind of a toss-up. And this game showed me a lot about what Louisiana has to offer this year.
And we said it earlier too, but man, Chris Smith is a stud.
Right.
A stud back, and they didn't have him tonight against a defense that's getting up less than 20 points per game with bad weather and able to get it done. So you look at their schedule and very favorable for them to make a run here. And this is a conference builder. We always talk about just getting that first dub in conference play, get that monkey off your back. On the road to do it in a place like this, against a team like this, you're going to be feeling pretty good going forward, especially once you get Chris Smith back in that lineup. And
they do expect him back. Again, he's nursing a hamstring, so it's not something that's overly debilitating. They expect to have Chandler Fields back, but even if they do, I mean, you've got a weapon now in Ben Wooldridge as well. The defense continues to be just completely swarming. And give credit to defensive coordinator Lamar Morgan. We spoke with him yesterday for a good 20 minutes. Impressive the job that he has done, and another guy that has been ingrained in that winning Louisiana culture.
Defense with contact, number 59. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
It's on Emmanuel Bush for the Thundering Herd.
Now, once again, penalties. I mean, you're over the center. I mean, you are literally over the football.
Yeah, it's not the number of penalties, 6 for 40 yards for Marshall. It's the when and the how.
Yeah.
That really, you can circle back to a couple of those that really changed the complexion of this game that they would love to have back. Now, a 4th and 1, and you're on the plus side. They'll go for it here. And they'll throw it, and they'll get the first down in the flat to the tight end. It's Miguel again for the 4th time tonight. They like their tight ends. They've got 3 of them that they feel good about, including Johnny Lumpkin, Neil Johnson, and that is the exclamation point on what's going to be a Louisiana win.
And a beautifully designed play. Everyone in the building's thinking run, 4th and short. Once again, just utilizing what Wooldridge does well. On the run, athletic, throws the ball from different arm angles. He's able to get to the outside, easy completion for the first down, and essentially lock this thing up.
Hand off left side. Run some more clock. You go back to the tenets of the Billy Napier days that Coach Dez is trying to keep intact. What did he talk about? Organization, structure, discipline. Some might say they're kind of an Alabama light model, if you will, with those principles. And we've seen a lot of that tonight in a game where they had a lot of obstacles against them with injuries and trailing in the first half. They came out in this second half and put everything on display.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they can do going forward. I mean, talk about a first-year head coach, still was learned from a great coach in Billy Napier, but has to obviously make it his own as well. And he's going to continue to develop as a head football coach, learn and grow. And this team is, as you talk to them, excited to learn and grow with him as well this season. And big step forward in the right direction for them.
He was really upbeat when we spoke to him yesterday. They just got into town. He came right to the hotel, sat down with us, and despite the fact that they were riding that 3-game losing streak, he was very blunt about the fact. He said, "Look, we're so close.
Yeah.
We are just so close." And he said, quite frankly, we got a little spoiled. We kept winning all those close games the last couple of years. They were 13-1 in one-possession games in 2020, 2021. It doesn't get much better than that. So eventually, some of those things even out. They started losing some of those games this year, and they needed a game like this, that so-called get-right game. You go on the road, conference game, a Marshall team that beat Notre Dame earlier this year that certainly is dangerous. They were down at the half, and everything they dialed up here in the second half turned up aces.
You see a little smile from Coach Dez there?
Yeah.
Grin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It has to feel good, too, man. Knowing that your top weapons, your quarterback and your running back, are not in this football game, you found a way to make it happen. Because, I mean, a lot of times, too, man, you may get a coaching staff or players and say, hey, man, we can't. How are we going to make this happen? Knowing that your players believe is awesome, too.
Big run, bursting past the 15 and down to the 10-yard line. That's a little wildcat look, and that is Lejean on the carry. They're throwing everything but the kitchen sink here in this fourth quarter.
Well, now they get the best feeling in the world right now. Get lined up, kneel it one time, and get out of here with a great W.
Makes that road trip back home a little sweeter, doesn't it?
And get out of here before that storm comes.
Yeah,
I'm talking about you and me, too.
Yeah, we're all trying to do that, my friend. We are all trying to do that. A little victory formation. All smiles on the sideline. Huge win for Louisiana and Coach Dez. They go on the road, pick up their first conference win of the season, and who knows what's in store in a very competitive Western Division this year in the Sun Belt. Final seconds will tick away. Players go on the field. Coaches shake hands. It's two coaches that no doubt will make a lot of noise in the future in this fine league, the Sun Belt Conference. Your final score here from Huntington, West Virginia. Ragin' Cajuns 23, Thundering Herd 13. For Aaron Murray and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Morgan saying thank you for watching. So long from West Virginia. Sports Center is coming up next. So long, everybody.
Tough weather night there in Huntington, West Virginia, but nice.